It just fucking works. This is a known bug. Great! They had 11 days to fix it. They didn't. They had 11 fucking days since the beta. They didn't do shit with it. Known bug my ass. This whole game's a known bug.
Volta chyba, nie?
Spalony wędrowiec.
Tutaj jest jeszcze.
Ej, what the fuck, gram? Ta gra jest
To
zajebista.
teraz na streama.
Wait, take the clothes off. We gotta see how it deformed you.
Oh man. That hand though.
What the fuck?
Oh no, those guys are back. Run! Run! Woo! Flip that!
To replace your camp. However, hello?
Ahora no. No, no, no. Está nadando. Está nadando, bebé, estoy bien. ¿En serio?
Oi,
Reparei mais um.
oi. Acabou? Não. Foi. Foi ela.
What's up, bitch? What are you holding? Is that a shotgun in your hands? I'm sorry, man. That's not how that works. I don't.
What?
I can't even kill myself right in the game.
Хотя бы на людей нападать, вот это все делать.
А надо? Я не думаю, что ты видишь это?
Нет, вот с метакритики, свиньи, затолкайте свои единицы в задницы. Нормально все с игрой.
I need to turn the game down a little bit. I like that the fucking strings holding the balloon.
Yeah, with the depth of field off, things look much better. What is that? Someone tell me what the hell that is.
Did you guys just see that?
The game is literally destabilizing in front of me. There's a glitch in the Matrix. It's actually, oh my god, it's just getting worse. In every direction, oh my god, the game is destabilizing! I'm walking into an invisible wall right now.
Look at all this shit. Look at all this shit on your screen, everybody. Holy
That shit was bad.
shit.
That shit was real bad. Congratulations, everyone, on unlocking the DLC for the Kumite from the Kumite Creation Club. This is not paid mods for the Kumite. This is DLC for the Kumite. It's completely different. It's completely different.
It will be patched soon, though, over the next few weeks.
By modders, not us. We're not going to fix it. Someone else will.
Because fuck you.
Yes. That's how you make games. That's how you make any product. Fuck the consumer. who likes them? Who wants any of that shit? Who needs their input? Fuck them. What we need is to let the community fix this shit for us. Why would we fix this ourselves? Yes.
Yes.
That's not- I didn't count.
We're gonna make you a shit sandwich, and you're gonna enjoy it. Because fuck you. Now give me $70.
$200 if you want a cheap helmet.
Oh, it's $70 for you guys over there.
Oh, wait, the thing about the helmet.
Yeah.
Wasn't that just like styrofoam laid over a construction helmet? I heard that. Is that the case? Was it at least a hard plastic?
I haven't seen the details of the helmet, but I've heard it's not worth $200.
I have a feeling you're probably onto something there. $200 for a helmet. Why not the whole suit? When I give him a whole power armor suit that looks absolutely ridiculous.
Breaking news, everybody. The creator of SpongeBob SquarePants has died.
Oh no.
What, the kid who drew the drawing that they ripped off?
No, the dude.
Oh, the dude who ripped the kid off.
Yeah.
Of drawing. Okay.
Did he kill himself after playing Fallout?
Let me read this article.
Is it Fallout related? Was he a Bethesda
Did he talk?
fan?
Did he talk about the dragons?
Did he have information that would bring the arrest of Hillary Clinton?
Nah, and he wasn't part of the Goyim. But he was diagnosed with ALS. So yeah.
That's a nasty way to go.
Yep.
When did that happen?
No.
No, I mean, what? Like, was it like he was recently diagnosed with it? Now he's dead.
No,
Like-
last year he got diagnosed
Okay.
last year, and then it finally got him.
Isn't that thing Vamps got? Or is that ADSL?
The helmet is actually kind of cool. Has a light and voice changer. It has a voice changer. What is the voice changed to? That's a big question. That's going to matter. What does it change to?
If it changes your voice to Samuel L. Jackson, I'd be interested.
I'm wondering what the fuck it changes your shit to. It's gonna be a big thing. If it only changes your voice to like random Brotherhood of Steel guy, I wouldn't fucking bother. If it changes your voice to, I don't know, pretty much anything else. Like if it changes your voice to Elvis, we'll talk. If it changes you to Three Dog, we'll talk. If it changes you to anybody, that's a hell of a go.
You can get a Darth Vader voice changer helmet for like $70, a high quality one. If you want to get a cheap one, it's like $25.
$25 for voice changers now.
You can sound like Darth Vader. I mean, is it better than
Praise
Darth Vader?
Internet.
I don't think so.
Praise internet.
Praise
Praise
be.
internet. Blessed be the magical internet.
We shall sacrifice many dragons to appease thee.
The fucking dragons. I wonder where their shame is on that one. Where is your shame? Where is the shame? What is shame at?
Should I tell the people what I told y'all about the PvP combat?
Yeah, go ahead.
So the PvP combat in Fallout 76, the way it works, you can attack somebody, but unless they also attack you, you can't hurt them. However, because you did attack them, you get a bounty, which is just caps you lose when you die.
Rip.
You know what makes it worse?
Well, but they kind of announced that from the start, that it was going to have a dueling feature where you'd kind of have to accept. So you can't just run around capping people.
A dueling fucking feature. Fuck off. Fuck off. Things already been marked down to $30 because everybody, it's essentially, it's accepted now. All right, it was bullshit. The best thing about the game, I think, is that it exposes the shit that they will try to pass over on you now. We said before, the game probably would have been fine if they allowed people to fix it. But no mods. So for the first time in a long time, Bethesda has to actually put a game out and not depend on its community to fix that shit.
So it's got to be dog shit forever.
Pretty much. And much like fucking Fallout 4, where the entire settlement thing, that was a mod that somebody made for, I think, New Vegas. That's all that was. They just took it and put it in there, made it core gameplay. They did the same shit.
So they'll take that mod, but they won't steal the patches that people put out.
Oh no, they did.
They did that in Fallout 4.
Yeah, but
The most popular mods, like the Chinese stealth suit, they bought it off the person who made it.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like the Fallout equivalent of the unofficial Elder Scrolls patch, where it's just a big patch that fixes a bunch of bugs that comes out every time a Bethesda game comes out, usually about a month or two later. And it gets updated. Why don't they? Because they clearly didn't steal that patch, because that patch fixed bugs in Fallout 4 that are present in Fallout 76 because they just copied the game stuff and put it in a new environment.
Yeah, well, they didn't bring that kind of stuff over into 76, but the entire idea of PvP, like the entire, or not even PvP, but just multiplayer aspect, that's a stolen mod. Somebody had made that mod for Fallout 4. Someone took it, and now that's what there is. That's what's happening.
I can't even steal shit properly.
No.
The thing with being an online game too, I mean, if you did try to alter the game in any way by, say, fixing their shit, you'd probably be kicked off the servers.
Well, yeah, you can't mod an online game. It comes through as fucking cheating, doesn't it?
And Todd said that you could play it by yourself and you'd never see a server when you played it, but
Really?
you can't play it offline, and the server crashes every other minute.
Yeah, sounds about right. Whenever you hear anything say it's always online, they get fucked. This is something that was bound to happen. After you take the situation that Bethesda's taken advantage of for so long, you just keep letting it play out, keep letting it play. We don't have to finish our games. We'll just let people fix them. You keep leaning on that. Eventually, you get what you deserve, and that's people get to see what it looks like when everyone doesn't rush to your aid to fix your game for you.
I think this is a psyop to get all the people that were whinging about Fallout 4 and that
To go back
Fallout
and
3
play
was
it.
better to appreciate Fallout 4.
It's a hell of a psyop. It's a hell of a psyop. May as well do it. Who cares?
Well, what's funny about that is you can get New Vegas for like $10 now. That's just a better experience overall compared to both of them. And that's, I believe, with all of its DLC, which was actually
still don't
good
like-
DLC.
I still go as far as to say that fucking New Vegas is not a good game. If I have to give you all the good shit, if I have to fix your shit, then your game's not good. The shit other people do with your game is good, but your game's not good.
Well, you can make that case, but I will counter and say the game was fun and the writing was good. The story was good. The characters were good. I can understand why you'd say the game as a whole isn't good by some measurements, but it was fun. And that's
It's passable. No, that's the thing. It's passable. If New Vegas were put out by anybody who wasn't this fucking, I don't know, whatever the fuck Bethesda.
No, if it was, it's not even that because Obsidian made it, not Bethesda. If it was given the development time it needed and not rushed in a year.
No, would they have made an engine? Would they have updated that 15, 20-year-old engine?
They might have.
Probably, yeah.
No, they
They
wouldn't
might have.
have.
If it was given the development time it needed, they might have.
They
At
may
least
have
it would
made
have
a
made it
game
look
inside
better
of that
and
engine
play
that
better.
worked, and that's fine. But no one else would get away with this 20-year-old engine bullshit.
Well, back
Nobody
when
else
New
would get
Vegas
that.
came out, it wasn't a 20-year-old engine. It was like a 5-year-old, 10-year-old engine.
No. It was like fucking 10, 15 by the time fucking that came out. Morrowind. It's the same fucking engine as Morrowind. That's old. That is fucking old. Fix that. Just fix it.
It was an 8-year-old engine then.
At the time, it was 8.
Yeah, because Morrowind was 2002 and New Vegas was 2010.
That is kind of getting up there for an engine.
That's still fucking old.
Like, they didn't even have that much of a gap between Unreal 3 and 4, I think.
I don't get it. Anyone else pulls this shit, people would call them on it. They would have jumped down their fucking throats. Well, this is, you reskin the old game, dickhead. And they would be held accountable as such. But it's Bethesda, so everybody rushes to go fix the game for them. And says, no, the game's good. You just need these mods. When is that ever an acceptable answer to any other game?
Well, see, here's the thing: is the reason people would do that, the reason people would rush out to fix these things, is they up until I'd say Fallout 4, but definitely by now with 76. The writing, the story, the characters were all interesting. The way things work were unique. People enjoyed the experience enough that they wanted to improve it. But now that it's gotten to the point where they've just scrapped all that and made it always online nonsense, where all the other people are people and people are shitty, and all the any NPCs you find are robots, and all of the quests are done through fucking audio logs. It's just stripped out the things that made people want to make the series better and left with no rose-tinted glasses and no sense of anything, how just abysmal and pathetic Fallout really is now.
You could make the argument that even if this game was moddable, people would not bother wasting their time on it.
I could go with that. That could possibly be another thing. I keep looking at it, and it's in every way. This is an amazing blunder. But this is where you get when you get fucking delusional. When everybody runs to fix your games for you when you're not willing to actually fix it for your fucking self. So you have these guys. They put out this fucking game, and it's like, yeah, here you go. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be great. Why do people like these games? Well, usually the story, usually the interactions, usually all that kind of shit. That's usually what people actually dig about the Fallout games. So we're going to make one and take out all that shit. You don't need that. Fuck that.
Well,
now you just have fetch quests.
It's going to come back to bite them in the ass because, I mean, the games industry is different to, say, the movie industry. Like, when they bring out a piece of shit movie that's full of social justice, people will still give it great reviews. It'll still make money or whatever. But gamers, no, they won't have it. Nobody's going to buy this game. Everyone is going to shit on it. It's not going to do well. They're not getting away with it.
And they're going to be a lot more critical whenever the next one comes out. I think with movies, they do get kind of clean slates. I mean, to be if you're a movie house and you fuck things up, like, 5 or 6 times in a row, you start to get a reputation. With games, fuck things up one time. Who are the guys who made No Man's Sky? How many tries do you think people will give them after No Man's Sky to come back? You think the guys who made No Man's Sky are going to be popping up anytime soon, everybody?
To be fair to them, they did add a bunch of stuff that makes the game supposedly a lot better, but
do you think they're going to get another try ever?
Not really, no. No. Not like they had. Definitely not like they had.
You look at this, did they even deserve this chance? That's the real question. Did they even deserve the chance that they just got? Did they even deserve it? No. Bethesda hasn't put out a finished game in forever. You say it's good. If it appeals to your taste, what the fuck ever. But even if you like the games, you can't say they're finished. Other people had. When Skyrim fucking dropped, the dragons were flying backwards. Anybody remember that? Skyrim shows up on the scene and the fucking dragons are going backwards.
Yep, I remember that.
Or they're
remember.
like swimming through the ground.
There was that.
I remember.
Yeah. This was real shit happening, and they're super awesome. We got dragons in the game now, but they going backwards. No, it's fine. It's fine. Ignore that. You sure? Sure we need to ignore that? The fucking dragons were going backwards. But yeah, Bethesda's still great. Great. Skyrim's the best game ever, guys. The best game.
Development's going backwards.
Well, this is supposed to be a fantasy game. I mean, if the dragons flew straight, that would break the immersion.
Yeah, you don't want to. You don't fuck up immersion, do you? Come on, we need these dragons going backwards.
Hell, even some of the fun things about Skyrim are actually just broken. Like how the horse can climb up anything, or how you can use the right combination of alchemy and enchanting to make yourself a god.
Yeah. That's come on, isn't that what you need in the game, though? Isn't that what you need? Like, I look at it.
I love crafting and enchanting gear in Skyrim. It's like one of my favorite.
What was the main broken thing in fucking Skyrim that everybody can fight? Of course, you had the ship flying backwards.
On the PS4 version, if you saved the game enough time, gamer do.
Oh,
the
yeah.
game just keeps on taking longer and longer to load.
It's because the save files would get exponentially bigger.
Yeah. Fucking broken. They managed to memory leak on a goddamn console. How do you even do that? How do you even do that?
That the whole point of consoles, one of the reasons they've compromised the PC gaming platform to the console gaming platform is to avoid that exact problem.
Memory leak on a console. Sorry, guys. It keeps getting bigger, guys. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to delete like 4 games, to make room for your new save file. Oh, you don't have room? All right. Well, go ahead and go delete those games. Come back and do everything you just did because that's what's up. That's the new model. It's the new.
I saw something in the chat. Somebody brings up a good point. Bethesda should stop releasing games and start releasing modding platforms.
I mean, that's what they do. They should just label it that. Just be honest.
That's what I'm saying. They should call it a modding platform.
It's a modding.
Well, then they couldn't charge the premium then.
Oh, they could charge for a premium modding platform.
I don't know. If Gary's mod came out at full price back then.
Weird. All right. That's the game that's nothing but fucking source engine resources. And that's it.
Yep.
Do whatever you want to with the source engine here. I still don't know how they got away with that.
Yeah, I'm not even sure how much they actually charged when that thing first came out.
Yeah, it's weird. To me, it's weird. I don't see how that one's allowed. Like, you just took gaming assets someone else had put together and made, And now we have this. I mean, I guess that's cool.
A friggin' meme machine.
I don't know. It's Gary's Mod's weird. I don't know how that where that falls in the legal anything.
Well, it's a Valve game with Valve properties.
But
apparently they unlocked assets based on the games you owned.
Oh,
That's
really?
cool.
Oh, so you had to own it already. Is that how they
No,
got
like if you had Gary's Mod and you also you bought Portal, your Gary's Mod would get all the Portal assets. If what this guy in chat is saying is true.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Okay, so that's fucking.
And then you could make your own shit and then throw them into Gary's Mod.
It's like automatic bonus DLC for all of your games that are related to it.
I never played Gary's Mod, but I heard so much about it.
Same. Like I had got it. I fucking watched YouTube videos on it. I couldn't figure out how to play any of that shit. So there was like I don't know. You can do apparently anything on the damn thing, and I found a place that's just like a movie theater. That's all they call it. You go in there and you just watch a movie. That's all you gotta do. No, okay, fine. Playing Gary's Mod, watching a movie. I don't know. Sometimes shit like that, it's just too fucking overcomplicated. That's another problem with the fucking sandbox model of everything. Like, give somebody a goddamn goal. Just a little goal. That would be a huge goal. Just a minor goal. Point people in a direction. That's another problem that apparently Fallout had. Like, people were wandering around aimlessly looking for, was it like holotapes? Fucking terminals to get fucking messages from because there's no goddamn NPCs or story.
Mm-hmm.
Miserable shit. Fucking miserable shit.
Huh. I purchased, I don't know how much it was when I did it, probably like $1. But I obtained Gary's Mod in 2014. I've literally never installed.
What would you do with it? Like,
based on what I've told it is, I'm not autistic enough for Gary's Mod.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's Gary's Mod is like is a proto goat simulator almost.
It's there for if you actually like kind of know how to make video games and machinima and shit like that. It's just like a good solid base of like, hey, do you want to make a movie with these video game characters? Do you know how to make your own shit as well? Here you go.
Yeah, I guess there's that. Oh, someone pointed out the Metal Gear Survive quest for a hat when I was playing Metal Gear Survive. That was another example of having to make your own story because the fucking game ain't trying to hand you one. And then as soon as I made a hat, the game starts handing me a story, this giant kaiju thing. And I'm like, yeah, I can't be fighting that. What? What?
Metal Gear Survive.
We hardly knew ye.
It was fun, but some systems in the game made it like too grindy.
The water, the fucking you have to make sure to water your player. Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
But all right, if you watch Metal Gear Survive earlier in the year, you watch that fucking shit show play out.
I have it.
All right. How do you go and be Bethesda and be like, okay, we're gonna do that? They did. Is that not what the fuck they did?
Oh, kinda. Because I don't know how
that was great. Let's make another.
Yeah, really. Like just for announcing Metal Gear 5, fucking Konami got roasted. Was Bethesda not paying attention? Did they not care? Was this like shit already in development? They're like, well, we'll just put it out there, eat the shit, and fucking move on.
Because like love multiplayer for the sake of multiplayer. Come on, especially with zombies.
Yeah, totally. But like the thing with Fallout 76 is it was only announced this year and it's already out. That rarely happens at E3 or whatever fucking gaming convention.
Well, I mean, when the whole fucking thing's already made.
When all you have to do is repackage the thing and then regurgitate it and shit it out, I don't think it takes that long.
Yeah, well, I think that kind of shows people how little was actually put into it, and that kind of worked against them right from the jump. Oh, this is coming out this year? Oh, it's like, what, 5 times bigger than Fallout 4? Huh, interesting.
Already fucking here. The game is already fucking here. That should have been red flag A. But other than red flag A, you look at the fucking game and you just look at the way they're telling you. It's like, okay, multiplayer, survival, Fucking, I hear survival on a game. I tell them to fuck off pretty much immediately. All that means is fucking meters. I'm going to be spending all my time filling up fucking meters for thirst and hunger, and you can just go fuck yourself, honestly. I want to play a game. I'm not trying to manage fucking meters. It's too popular. That shit is too fucking popular. The meter bullshit in games. It's got to stop. I think it had stopped.
I think I would rather play Fortnite.
Well, hadn't that shit stopped? Like, it was a big thing on like the lower level games. It was a huge thing. They were doing this in all those little lower level survival fucking games. And now the AAA motherfuckers have gotten a hold of it. And they're in love. They're in fucking love. And now you have to deal with it on fucking Metal Gear. On fucking Fallout. What the fuck? Why? It's out of style now. Nobody's using it anymore. That's like 2012 DayZ shit.
I'm surprised they didn't try it with Resident Evil. They wisely made Resident Evil 7 and then just dropped all the bullshit.
Bet your ass that they fucking thought about it. But they saw the fucking Metal Gear Survive shit and said, that doesn't look like people like it. Let's dodge that bullet. I don't know, the fucking Resident Evil 7 thing, they went completely different. I think they watched that fucking PT thing and were like, let's go for that. Let's go for that. Just do that. Which I don't blame them for. Everybody apparently loved the PT thing. Do you think that game would have ended up being anything bigger than just some weird shit that had fucking Norman Reedus in it for the fuck of it?
I think so. Because people got to remember, that was a thing that was supposed to happen. And Kojima did take a little gander with, what's that other series? Silent Hill?
Yeah, it was supposed to be Silent Hill with Norman Reedus.
Yeah. Could have been interesting.
You think it could have been interesting? I'm worried about it. I don't know if it would have been that great. And looking at Death Stranding, pretty over Kojima at this point. Pretty fucking over that guy. They just
need to like put it out. Like, I love Kojima, but they need to put it out. Okay, what's going on?
Okay, all right. I know, like, I've seen you make a few posts about the game, Malcolm. Tell me what it's about.
It seems like a postal service in the Upside Down from Stranger Things.
Okay. I was about to say, what the fuck is the Upside Down?
But that's what it looks like. It looks like you're carrying a baby upside down in a spacesuit.
That is some shit. All right, I can go with it. It's a reference to a series that I do not watch, so fair play. But a postal service in the upside down world.
Yeah, you're carrying this baby through this weird world where just trippy shit's going on. I'm not too sure.
Hold on, postal service, but he's carrying a baby. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, he's transporting this baby from anything that I've seen.
He's transporting a baby. And there's oil.
And Guillermo del Toro's involved for some reason. And so is homeboy from that Hannibal show.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you think babies came from? A stork? They get delivered by UPS.
Norman Reedus in the stork game.
Norman Reedus just goes dimensions to give people babies. Here you go.
I am the stork. This is an underrated superhero. That's what he's going to release it and call it the stork. I'm thinking this may be another moment in video games where this shit gets released and people get pissed.
Well, here's the problem: is it's going to be interesting. Whatever it is, it's going to be interesting because Kojima's doing it. Kojima does interesting things, but that's not enough.
Kojima, I really do see that man as the fucking Tumblr of video games.
He's more like the David Lynch of video games.
It's just unique for the fucking sake of unique.
I think I throw that title more onto David Cage being the Tumblr.
He's the movie guy, right? Like, he makes movie games.
Yeah.
Well, Kojima should just probably make movies. I mean, he should probably just make movies, but
I think
because he's making games, the reason people might get mad about Death Stranding or whatever it's going to be called is if the gameplay itself isn't what they want, and because they haven't really said what it's supposed to be, nobody really has nobody has something to base their expectations on. So the expectations from person to person could vary wildly. And the issue is if you're not meeting people's expectations, that's when they get upset. And since they don't have anything sort of to base those on other than vague trailers and promotional information that doesn't really tell you what the gameplay is like, they don't know what to expect, so they have to make something up. And how can you meet something that you don't know what they're expecting? They've set themselves up to fail.
Yeah. I think this works if you're Metal Gear Solid and people kind of have an idea of what to expect. When Death Stranding comes out, people start fucking with it.
Well,
I think
Metal
it
Gear
may be
Solid-
one of those moments.
With Metal Gear Solid, people at least know how the game plays, but that story is holy shit.
Oh, it's
probably just as
horseshit.
it's probably just as convoluted as Death Stranding. To be completely honest with you.
Yeah, once you get down to all right, I'll grab a few of these chats before we get fucking zapped down by Todd Howard again real quick. Ben C through 5 and said, now most gaming companies care about diversity than they do about properly making a game. Not false. I don't think anybody's concerned with properly making a game anymore. They can just patch it later. Again, like this is something that just didn't exist before. You had to make the game and put it out. Everything going online it's done nothing but ensure laziness. Telling people that they can fix stuff after the fact, it ensures laziness.
When Mortal Kombat and GoldenEye 007, Mario Kart 64 came out, they were complete.
Yeah.
And they were the shit.
There were no day one patches on SNES.
You know what used to happen to games back in the N64 era when they came out incomplete? They got shit on for it, and they were called Quest 64.
Oh, Quest 64.
That's exactly what happened to that game. If that game came out today, you'd give it a month and there'd be something patched.
No Man's Quest.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's no patching for that.
Speaking of patches, did you guys hear about the new Fallout 76 patch?
Nope.
It's 40-some gigabytes.
Oh, that was like what, the day 3 patch?
40-something gigs.
Yeah, almost
it's a whole other game.
That's what I was gonna say. What did it change?
They took away the original game and they just gave you a whole new game.
Now you have
and they call it a patch.
Now they gave you the game. The game was gone before. You were just playing Fallout 4. Now it's the real game.
They
Fuck out.
accidentally
really
released
you
beta
just
as the main
downloaded
game.
Fallout 4.
Pretty much. A Crucial Bunny through 2 to say new Fallout 4 mod allows you to romance dog meat. Oh, look at that. Tell me there's a god. Jorgamundo 7 through 5 and says the mole rat sexually identified as a flying dragon, and only now in 2018 can this stunning and brave rat be properly portrayed. Pin C through 10 and said all of Bethesda games are basically made for the modding community. Yeah, I can go with that. I can go with that. That sounds about right. If you're a modder, then I get being stupid hyped as soon as you hear the word Fallout or fucking Elder Scrolls, because it's fucking you're off to the races. It's go time. New shit to mod. I hear that.
I do like that part of it, and I even not as a modder. I like being able to customize the game to look certain ways that I want, but you can't fix a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Fallout 76. There's no way Quest 76. It is unmoddable.
It's not. Yeah, and if you do, you're in fucking trouble. They're kicking you off the server.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point, if you mod the shit out of the game and you're kicked off of their bullshit servers, wouldn't it be a better game anyway?
No, because at least for Fallout 76, you can't play it without being on the server. It wouldn't work.
Yeah, they should have at the very had some sort of private server system where you could mod shit. At the very, very least. But nah, that would have been too smart.
They didn't care.
Too much effort.
Too much effort. They didn't care. Real quick, I'm gonna jump back to Kojima. What are the things that made Kojima so great in a lot of people's eyes?
He has. It's a weird, like, with Kojima, he's kind of got this David Lynch vibe for being weird, but still somewhat coherent in a non-conventional way, like with Twin Peaks and with Blue Velvet. Because, like, at Twin Peaks' core, it's a supernatural murder mystery, but there's a lot of unconventional shit that happens. Mm-hmm. With Metal Gear, it's an espionage story about trying to stop third-party assholes from getting nuclear powers and nuclear weapons. But it's not done through your typical Hunt for Red October style.
Yeah.
Because with Kojima, yeah, because like he's seen all those movies. Like he's a very, very huge American film fan. So he's trying to bring like assets from other films into the military genre, so to speak. Like whether it be through like supernatural feel or some shit like that. He just does it in a non-bog standard way.
There's that. I can get that. Whenever I think about it, whenever just for my sake, I think about what was the dialogue like? Well, it was cartoony. It made 30s comics seem believable.
It was like 80s cheese. It's like his dialogue to this day. It's like, is he writing Top Gun weirdly again?
Yeah. And then, what made him unique? And they'll point to stuff like, well, the Psycho Manus thing. What? Reading a memory card in the middle of your fucking that's cutting edge. Okay, all right.
There's also some different shit. It was one of the first times where you had to, for one of the missions in Metal Gear Solid 1, you had to find some chick that was disguised as an enemy soldier, but she'd be the only woman there, so you would have to be watching men's asses.
I remember that. You have to watch how she walks.
It was weird shit like that Metal Gear was doing like 10 years before everybody else.
See, I don't know. Just like the story to me in Metal Gear Solid has always come off very cartoony, and the one time that it didn't, they stopped touching it. They quit playing with it. Metal Gear Solid 2. I want to say it's 2. Everybody hates that one, right? Isn't that the one everybody hates?
They hated it when it came out.
Yeah, that was the most interesting one.
I like Metal
they
Gear
hated
Solid
it because they had the bait and switch with Snake. But
I heard a smattering of Metal Gear Solid 3. I don't know about that. Like as soon as I said Metal Gear Solid 2 was probably the most interesting, everybody started going in with what?
Isn't Metal Gear Solid 3 the one with the fake Snake? That guy? What's his name?
No, that's 2.
Okay, well then 1 and
2 is the one where they did the bait and switch.
Okay, 1 and 2 are my favorites.
Metal Gear Solid 3 is widely regarded as one of the best, actually.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 3 has those moments. What do you call them? Emotional porn.
Yeah.
That's all Metal Gear Solid 3
and
is.
it introduced it's the origin point of Revolver Ocelot, the best character in all of Metal Gear.
Okay, did you ever catch this when you played the game? You kill Ocelot in any of the anythings. It stops the game and tells you you've created a time paradox.
Yup. Oh, that shit was nuts. Oh my god.
Now, I brought this up to people who actually follow Metal Gear Solid and actually like that shit. What they point out to me is that's the one time in the game that you actually hear the Colonel's voice. Because he's not in that game. And according to the date and time, he's not even supposed to exist.
Which Colonel?
The Colonel. The one who has been messaging you through all the games. That's the one time you hear his voice, and he tells you created a time paradox. He used this to explain to me that this entire thing is all just a simulation. And I'm like, of course it is. Because Kojima saw The Matrix. Like, that's the kind of irritating shit that I get from the story. Like, I find that shit irritating. Just tell a story. But if you're going to go wacky, if you're going to get real wild with it, At the end of Metal Gear Solid 2, all that shit that's happening, where they're talking about how the men who founded the country are immortals who are up under like an underground bunker. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a fucking story.
Yeah, the philosophers and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, hit me with that shit. Hit me with that shit. Fuck off with this. It's all a dream shit. That makes me want to hit people. I don't care if you're doing Secret Window. I don't care if you're doing Fight Club. This, oh, it was me all along and it wasn't real. Fuck you. That's not a story.
Usually the waking up and realizing the whole thing was a dream is the worst way to end anything, especially a movie, but I didn't mind that part to Metal Gear Solid 2.
That is
the fact that
such
it was a training simulator.
Okay, if that's how it goes and it's a training simulator and it's all booting you up to take on the quote unquote philosophers. Okay, Metal Gear Solid 3 looks like it's going to be great. Then you get to Metal Gear Solid 3 and here comes the emotional porn.
And it's also like set 50 years before.
Yeah.
What do you got against porn? What do you, the IRS?
Emotional porn. Like it was a Tyler Perry movie with fucking camo on. That's what it was. It was emotional porn. Hey, little gamer, don't you want a week for Big Boss? Fuck you. Fuck Big Boss.
3's got the most consistent story the whole way through, too. Out of all of them.
But
yeah, it's one big mission.
No, I'll give him that. That was definitely probably staying within the bounds of a real story more than any of them. I can give you that. But fuck Big Boss. Fuck emotional porn. I'm here to kill people.
You must have liked Metal Gear Solid 5 then.
No. Big secret, guys. Or I don't even know if it's a secret. I don't fucking like Metal Gear. Big shocker. I don't fucking like it. I don't like it.
I disavow.
It's like, I don't like Fallout.
When are they going to give us a Metal Gear game where you play as Revolver Ocelot? I mean, they won't now because Kojima's gone, but why didn't they make that?
Metal Gear Solid.
Because
go back to there. Just remake Metal Gear Solid, use the exact same assets, put in Revolver Ocelot, call it fucking Metal Gear 76. Boom, pay me. Done.
Yeah, really.
Pay me.
And they also didn't want to let Kojima do a lot of shit with fucking Metal Gear Solid. Like, did anyone ever find it weird that, okay, here's the family tree. There's Big Boss. Then there's his 3 clones. You play a Solid Snake who's an imperfect clone. Right? He's not supposed to be exactly the same. Yet Metal Gear Solid 3, he looks exactly the same. Well, Big Boss looks exactly the same as him, and he's got the exact same voice as Solid Snake. From Metal
And the
Gear
most
Solid 1 and
recent
2.
one, didn't they turn a nurse into Snake?
No, it was just some other soldier.
Yeah, it was just a random soldier.
Yeah, so he's super special, isn't he, guys? We can just make more.
But the thing is, Kojima did not want to have Big Boss have the exact same voice as Solid Snake because he was like, yeah, my lore. But Konami was like, nah, son, you got to use David Hayter, the same voice actor we've been using for the last 15 years because he's popular. We don't care about your fucking lore. So there was some shit going on there since Metal Gear Solid 3 at least, where he didn't have complete creative control.
I could believe that.
Metal Gear Solid 3 is well, it will make. I mean, you can still make that make sense in the lore because Solid Snake is a clone,
but he's not a perfect clone. But he's not a perfect clone, and with Liquid Snake not sounding the same at all, and neither does Solidus from Metal Gear Solid 2, who is the perfect clone. He doesn't sound at all like the guy who's supposed to be him in the very next fucking game.
That's a good point.
So when you've already had the characters voiced out in your previous game, the game where you have the OG dude, he should not sound like the imperfect clone. He should sound like the perfect clone.
But why would you even bother with that? Remember, it's the Matrix. You know? That's
all
what
bullshit.
bothers me. Yeah, that's what bothers me about the Kojima thing. It's like at one point it's like it's for the highest of all stakes, but at the same time, there's no stakes because it's a training simulation.
You better not be shitting on The Matrix, one of the greatest movies of all time.
I hate The Matrix.
The first Matrix is great. The other two are garbage. I call them The Matrix and their spin-offs.
I'm gonna tell you, if most people like it, I probably don't, because it's annoyed the shit out of me. Because when people like things, especially before the internet, they would just watch it over and over and annoy the fuck out of people with it. So pretty much everybody's house you went to who liked The Matrix, they were playing The Matrix on the TV 24/7. And they wanted to explain to you every intricacy about how this fucking movie explains life. Nothing is more fucking annoying.
But it's true. Your special little snowflake who wants to be different.
No. I'm a fucking dude who's over here trying to fucking do something, trying to do anything other than listen to you explain life through the fucking words of Keanu Reeves.
You're just mad at Keanu Reeves because he has all the answers to life.
Maybe.
You're just a hater.
Maybe. I might just be a Neo hater. And a solid Big Boss, Venom, all the fucking different Snake haters. Also a Fallout hater. Just a hater. Just fucking hate him.
Red man bad.
Red man bad. Red man no like what I like. Red man bad.
See, this is why white people took your land. You didn't deserve it.
I didn't like Fallout enough. I didn't play enough Metal Gear Solid. I didn't play enough Metal Gear 5. Come on, guys! Don't you wanna play Metal Gear 3 with me? Have a cry over Big Boss. Come on.
Completely unred pilled.
I know I'm not the only one who thinks it's the cringiest shit in the world when people start fucking getting all emotional about Big Boss. I know I'm not the only one.
Yeah,
Come on.
I never got that about her specifically.
Yeah. How can you care?
You can make a case for Boss, but you're going.
It's one thing to care
Matrix.
about Ocelot, but Big Boss, I don't know.
Are we talking Big Boss or the Boss when we say Big?
The bitch with the cleavage.
Okay, so the Boss, or
yeah, old chick with the old cleavage that we have to pretend we give a shit about whenever she dies. Oh, the flowers. Fuck off. I hate that shit. If it's not emotional porn, what the fuck is it? What is it? Is it a great end fight? Is it a great boss level? Like, is that really one of the greatest boss fights of all time? Really? Vulcan Raven was the better boss fight.
The end was a better boss
first
fight.
Game. The end wasn't that the photosynthesis guy?
Yeah, there's the old sniper dude.
Okay, yeah,
that was a good boss fight.
All right, it was a good boss fight, but again, this is more fucking being weird for weird's sake. Kojima has a fucking bad guy in the game who uses photosynthesis.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is wrong with him?
Here's another weird fact about the end. If you set your console's time to like 2 years past the point where you start playing the game, the end being 100, he's just dead. Because he's like, 113 fucking years old in the game.
Yeah. Whenever you find him, if you wait 2 weeks, like if it takes you 2 weeks to beat him, eventually he'll stop shooting at you and you can just walk up on his dead ass body. That's a thing. Killer boss fight. That's again, I guess it's unique. That's what you always have to fall back on with this motherfucker. Well, I guess it's unique. Well, was it great? I don't know, but it was definitely unique. Okay, I guess. Fucking like that's what I'm trying to get through a lot of people's head on the Death Stranding, because there's some people I know who are like, oh, I gotta pre-order that. Do you? Well, what's it about? It was like you said, you're a mail carrier with a baby.
Yeah.
You sure you want to pre-order that? You sure you want to jump on that bandwagon? You don't want to wait for a review or two? I mean, Stork the video game may be awesome. Maybe I'm fucked up on this. Maybe it's going to be the best fucking game that ever fucking existed. But you sure you don't want to wait on that? You know, give it a second.
The one thing
being unique isn't really good enough. make something a thing. I mean,
it's got to be executed well.
Yeah. Warski and Rari are very special, unique little snowflakes.
Ugh.
But they're still dog shit.
Oh yeah. And like the thing is like, and I've started to know that this now that we're kind of in the Kickstarter era of video games, I guess. You ever notice all these big developers or like designers, I should say, once they leave their big company, they just start putting out garbage games like Homeboy who made Mega Man. As soon as he left Capcom, all his games are shit. As soon as Tim Schafer left fucking Activision Blizzard, all his games were shit. It's like if they don't have somebody to bankroll their bullshit and kind of surround them with competent people, they're fucking screwed. Which is why I'm kind of glad Kojima didn't get hit in that situation.
Well, we don't know. We haven't seen him make a game yet.
Well, it's been 5 years of Sony pumping money. They're probably like,
That's what I'm wondering. Like, it's been 5 years.
It's been a while.
People still don't know what the fuck it's about. People still don't know what the fuck it's about. Not a fucking clue. Baby and mailman. This is what we got. There's a baby and there's a mailman. What else you need? It's like, you know, Baby Daddy Simulator 2018 or 19 or 20. When will this thing even come out?
What do you got against the mailman?
I got something against Kojima. Fucking tell people what the fuck this game's about. Stop bullshitting because you got Norman Reedus to be in it. Fuck you. The fuck is the game about, dickhead? Well, you know, I guarantee he'll say something about like a dark past. If the term dark past is used, I'm gonna lose my shit. Stop it. Tired of the dark past. Tired of all that fucking goofy shit. Just fucking make a game. Just make a game. Tell people, like, if you're on another planet, just tell people you're on another planet. You're trying to deliver a baby to a civilization on this planet or some shit. Because that's what would make the most sense from what I've seen of the shit. Delivering a baby to some shit fucking civilization on that planet. It's going to be great. I don't see why this will be, you know, earth-shattering or anything of the such. And this is another thing. The longer you wait, you know, getting a game, putting it together, and starting to fucking get it out, the longer you fucking take, the quicker it becomes, you know, a bit passé. The quicker it becomes yesterday's fucking news. The most extreme example would be that fucking Duke Nukem game that took like 10, 12, 15 fucking years to get out. And it looks like a game from 10, 12, 15 fucking years ago. Death Stranding, everybody told, oh God, it looks so good. Well, yeah, it looked good when that shit came out. If this shit doesn't come out for another 5 or 10 fucking years like it's looking, they need to hurry the fuck up, for God's sake. Then it's going to look like shit by the time it comes out. It's like everybody's saying that about Fallout 76 too. The shit looks like it's just getting released and it's from 2008. People saying it looks like shit. I don't give Kojima the free pass that most people do, just because Kojima, just because Norman Reedus, just because this, just because fuck that. Now, what is your game about, dickhead? Would you deal with this with anybody else? Anybody else is coming out with a game and you ask, well, what's it about? What would you say? Do you remember when the No Man's Sky guy, he pulled that, right? People asked him what it's about. He's like, well, you know. And everyone kind of gave him shit. Well, why isn't that happening with Kojima? Because it's Kojima. And everybody's like, oh, it'll be great. That's the guy who put out Metal Gear Solid. And? Fucking and?
I'm very selective with the games. I'm very selective with the games I play. I get attached to certain series. Like, I'll play any Skyrim.
I don't know. How attached would you say most people are to the Metal Gear series? Do you think, would you scale it to a level where they are attached enough to where they will now go to another series just because of the guy who's developing it? I know there are a lot of diehard Kojima people.
Yes, they will. Every Metal Gear Solid game has sold about the same amount, so it's about the same amount of people buying it every single time.
The difference is they will shit on 3 and 4 they will say
Would
five's
you?
okay, but one and two is the best.
Oh yeah, but they'll still buy all
they're
of them
not
no
wrong.
matter what.
Yeah. I mean, ain't nobody gonna buy 76.
No.
Whoa. Apparently, Metal Gear Solid 5 had glitches too. Didn't know that.
Well,
But
yeah.
I'm assuming they fixed them. Did they fix them?
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay.
And it's not like those glitches were even close to Fallout 76's level. Like, not even close to fucking Fallout 3's level. Come on. Not even close.
I worry for the consumers of the video games. They a little diehard. They're a little fucking diehard. And that's fine, you know, back up the things that you like. Believe in the products that you like. That's fine. Yeah, nobody's gonna hate you for that. But it's the kind of shit that facilitates a situation like Fallout 76. It's that kind of situation. It makes it to where this is the kind of thing that's going to happen and happen and happen and happen and happen. People don't have to agree or disagree with me. If you look at shit like No Man's Sky, it'll tell you right off the bat. One bad game will tank something. Doesn't matter how much goodwill you have. Kojima will be the probably ultimate test for that if this game releases and it's dog shit. This game comes out and it's not knock your fucking socks off good. People are going to let him know.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's go ahead.
After Fallout 76, they're gonna have to do a lot for Bethesda to get any sort of credibility back, or even if somebody else took over the next Fallout. I mean, they're gonna have to pull out something fucking amazing after 76.
Well, see, the thing with Fallout 76 is I don't think it's just going to impact the Fallout series or just impact Bethesda. I think we are going to see a much more aggressive user base in video games. Maybe I'm overshooting. Maybe I'm putting too much faith in it. But I genuinely believe that we're going to see a much more aware user base. Much more aware. It's going to be tired of this shit. They're going to be tired of being bullshitted, essentially. If you look at the sales figures, but again, that's retail sales figures. Just want to make sure to say that. The retail sales figures for Fallout 76, 80% drop. You look at that. That's fucked. That's bad. All right, that is obviously, I don't know, what would you call that? That's the consumers became informed, the consumers made a call, the consumers moved on. That's what happened. They see the fucking game on the shelf and they walk past it because they heard the wrong shit. Now that this has already happened, I think that you're going to see people whenever the Death Stranding comes out, they're going to wait for the reviews. And wait for the fucking reviews. Nukamal said No Man's Sky is the reason I no longer pre-order games. Don't blame you. Don't blame you. Not even a little. There's no point in pre-ordering games anymore. Why would you pre-order a game? Why the fuck would you pre-order a game these days? I don't know. Have any of you guys pre-order games?
No, not since Fallout 4. And, well, that was why. But there's something else I've noticed. I purchased Red Dead Redemption 2 well after it was out, like a week or so after it was out. And I bought the special edition, and it came with the pre-order deals bonus. It just had it in the thing. So I didn't even have to pre-order. It gave it to me anyway.
Yeah.
I pre-ordered Call of Duty World War II, but it wasn't for me. It was for my son.
I get it.
He decided beforehand he wanted it.
Okay, it's one thing to do like a gift thing for somebody else. That's fine. But like if you buy because, okay, I want to pre-order it, make sure I get everything. That is the worst. Arthur says, I would pre-order a new GTA. What are you hurrying up to get in line and grab a shot card?
Actually, I kind of agree with him. I would consider pre-ordering GTA. I mean, they haven't made a bad game yet.
Yeah, it's true. I pre-ordered Yakuza 0 for the PC.
Midnight Club and Red Dead Revolver were not good games.
Yeah, there's a reason we didn't get Red Dead Revolver.
Yeah. There was no Red Dead Revolver 2. But yeah,
Heck, it makes it all the more fitting that the sequel was called Redemption because it redeemed the series.
Well, it was about to not be a fucking series. It was a good call. I do enjoy it. Like the first Red Dead Redemption. That
Great
shit
game.
was good. A lot of people stopped playing it after whenever fuck, I'll spoil it. I don't give a fuck. You see Marston get shot. Everybody stops playing then. If you're playing the game, do not stop playing the game then. I'm not sure if it runs credits or something then, but that's not the end.
No, there's like
Keep
another
going.
huge chunk.
Yeah, there is a pretty big fucking chunk that comes after that.
And you'll like it a lot.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's
Probably
almost
the best
like
part of the game.
it's kind of a reoccurring Red Dead Redemption thing for those still playing too. Just a hint.
Pre-ordering months in advance is dumb, but getting your download started on a game you know you'll enjoy, nothing wrong with that. Now you can say that, but how do you know you'll enjoy a goddamn thing anymore? That's my question. Which one of you out there is Miss Cleo in today's gaming fucking market? Whoever you hit me up if you are. Just hit me up if you are. Oh wow, Tony Tar says, "Oh, I stopped playing." The fuck is wrong with you, Tony? Keep going. Load that shit back up. Break out your fucking 360 and start playing that shit again right now. Right now. The best part of the game hadn't even got there yet.
Hey, you know which game I fucking wish they would have done a proper sequel to? You guys ever play State of Emergency?
Oh, it got a sequel.
Yeah, it was horrible. I wanted Rockstar to make another sequel. State of Emergency 2 was trash. Shredded it at ash. But the first one was fucking hilarious.
Oh, I love the first game. It was very arcade. Like State of Emergency, the first game, made for arcades.
Oh yeah.
That was a great time. The second game, Rockstar had sold the license, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was first the Rockstar game, and I can't remember who got a hold of that license, but man.
Some garbage Canadian company, I think.
They shit the fucking bed. They didn't even care.
Nope.
They did not even fucking care. It was really bad. I played it at somebody's house and was just like, this is not even like State of Emergency. Like, they're like, I got State of Emergency too. I said, I didn't even know that existed. Cool, I'll come play. So the fuck is this? So fucking bad. State of Emergency. I forgot. Damn, I forgot that shit existed.
Mm-hmm.
You start talking about like, yeah, that shit did get a sequel.
Oh my god, that game should get like a remaster or something, man. A Riot video game? Yes, please.
It was a good. That's all it was. A fucking Riot video game. And it was a good time. It was a fun fucking time. Just Riot. And it had like 4 or 5 different characters you could select from. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I may be wrong. Maybe it was only.
There's like 5.
But...
There was 5.
Okay. Yeah, it was a decent selection of people to pick and have a fun little go around with in the middle of this Riot. That shit was fun. Shit like that is fun. Just a game where you get to have fun with a riot. The fuck is wrong with some rioting? Everybody loves a nice riot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bobbot said The Warriors is the best movie license game, and he's not wrong.
Which one?
The Warriors, best movie license game.
Yep.
Ooh,
maybe. Okay, I'll put that number 2. Number 1 is the Chronicles of Riddick games.
I never played one of those.
Ooh, those are the best fucking licensed video games you'll ever play. Shit, are they good?
See, I remember when movie license games, it was the death seal. You find out it's a fucking movie license game, don't touch it. You steer far fucking clear.
Spider-Man.
Okay, yeah, Spider-Man.
No, that was a massive exception. Okay, you're talking about Spider-Man. What about fucking oh god, what was the Iron Man game? What about the Thor game?
I'm just saying you were talking about good movie license games. You can't not mention Spider-Man.
This is true.
Even
There's
the
probably
bad Spider-Man games are good games. They're just not as good as the good Spider-Man game.
Yeah, there's probably like 10 franchises total that have good video game entries.
Heck, the
It's
next
sad, isn't
game
it?
I'm gonna get is probably that new Spider-Man game after I finish with Bloodborne.
I've heard decent shit about it. I've also heard fuck shit about it. But it's I don't know. Yeah, in a lot of cases, it's people who either choose what they want to enjoy or they choose what they don't want to enjoy. So
Yeah.
somebody else
Yeah.
pointed out Alien in Isolation is one of the good ones.
Decent.
Well, they had to make up for Colonial Marines.
It feels right up until the year 2000, movie license games weren't exactly the death knell. And all of a sudden, I would say they're probably not anymore. But there was a really dark age of movie license games just stinking up the store shelves, stinking up the marketplace, just sucking. Just being everywhere and being god fucking awful.
Yeah, I think that would be like the PS2, GameCube, Xbox era. That era had a lot of shit.
It did.
Like the only good licensed game from that era, I think, is Spider-Man 2 for the PS2.
360 movie license games are fucking terrible. Like, you would see so many Harry Potter games for the fucking 360. I've never played one, but I can look at it and tell it's dog shit. It's a Harry Potter game. You know that's gonna suck.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even have to play. You don't have to ask. And how many were there?
You don't want to be a wizard?
You don't be a wizard though?
You don't want to be a wizard, Harry?
Fuck. I wonder, man. Like, what were the what do you think the payouts were for just doing a movie license?
Oh,
back
not
then?
much. Not much. Most of those games were like made within the year that they announced the movie. They would just ship those out super quick.
I want to say that there had to just be some kind of payday that it didn't matter if the game tanked. They'd still get paid. It had to be like that.
They were usually made by like a lot of studios who are like, okay, we got to make this in order to build up a portfolio in order to make the game we want to make. So we're just making shit movie games for now.
Mm-hmm. Anugmal said it started with the Lord of the Rings games. I remember playing one of those and it was actually all right. I don't know which one.
I've been playing Shadows of Mordor and Shadows of War. I think they're really good.
Those don't count.
They're really solid. But
Those don't count.
They're technically not Lord of the Rings games, even though they couldn't use that license.
Technically not, and they
But they are
somewhat from lore. But
yeah, I'll count them as Lord of the Rings games, though. They're both solid games.
They're based around the story of Lord of the Rings, and I think that the shit.
I remember the old ones. Someone says Third Age. I think that's one of them. There's been a bunch of Lord of the Rings tie-in games that came out on PlayStation 2 and 360 and shit like that. So I don't know. I remember playing like one or two of them and them being pretty all right. So I don't know if were there any shitty ones? Were there any shitty Lord of the Rings video games?
There's a bunch of shit ones because they put out like 18 of them, like on the same console.
Okay.
So most of them were shit.
Ben C through 2 to say, what about the Lego video games? Passionate hatred. What am I in?
There's just too many of those too.
Passionate hatred. Cannot stand them.
You're just basically going through a paper thin version of the fucking movie storyline.
Yeah.
And it's like half-assed building this. You don't really like actually build anything. It's like auto-animated build of this iconic set piece that was in the movie.
Like, I like Legos, and I don't hate games. I hate Lego games. Fucking hate them. Just fuck them.
Like Lego games are the games you play with your girlfriend if she isn't a gamer.
Yeah, Lego games are the games you have to play with the girl. You're right.
I remember Lego Island and that being a barely functional piece of shit.
What was Lego Island?
It's like an old. Let me look up the year. An old computer.
Like SimCity for Legos?
No, because like you could build 97. You could build stuff, but it didn't quite work right in my memory anyway, and it was not intuitive.
Stone Mason guy said the Wolverine game was underrated.
Which one?
The Wolverine movie?
I didn't play that one, so I don't know. I thought he was talking about the
I didn't either.
Wolverine side scroller from the SNES days.
Oh god,
that was dope.
Those were fun. That shit was fun. I remember there was an old Spider-Man game on SNES. It was pretty fun too. Hard as fuck, but it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how much fun has been taking a hit in video games. That's what I'm curious about. How much of a hit has the fun taken in games? It doesn't feel like fun is the number one priority anymore. Pretty much in all of them.
Yeah.
Well, there's a distinct difference you need to consider there, because I'd say fun is still an important part of games like Red Dead Redemption 2. But when you're talking about live services as a difference from games, it's more about making money.
Stone Mexican guy said, I'm thinking of Maximum Carnage. That was a great game too, and I still have my red cartridge with all the green jelly music on it.
Fuck
all that green jelly music. You remember that shit?
Mm-hmm.
That was a great game, but that's actually not the one I'm talking about. There was another one. That was a great game, don't get me wrong, but there was another one. I don't know which one. I don't know what it was called, but there was another Spider-Man game. I loved Maximum Carnage, though. That was a fun fucking game.
Mm-hmm. That's a top 10. Time. That's a top 10 for me.
Yeah. Maximum Carnage was really fucking cool. If you get through the first levels, you can play as Venom in the second ones. God, that was a good time. That was a good fucking time. Pincalo threw 2 to say, GoldenEye was terrible. Changed my mind. I won't bother. It wasn't good.
Which one?
The one on N64, I bet. And yeah, it's kind of crap. Like, going back to it, that did not age well 3 years after release.
Just because it didn't age well. I mean, God 007 was the shit when I was growing up.
It was the shit playing with
the only game like that.
It was the shit playing with friends. If you played it by itself, it was not that good.
Yeah, you know what? I won't say it. I mean, it has so much historical significance that it's hard to say anything too negative about GoldenEye. But you know what doesn't get enough love was Nightfire, the 007 game on the GameCube. That was a straight improvement on GoldenEye and had really fun couch co-op multiplayer. I played that shit a ton with my friends.
What did it get overshadowed by? Like Time Splitters and a bunch of other shit.
Yeah, that was like the era of like every shooter. Like, here's the thing with like GoldenEye to Nightfire. GoldenEye was pretty much what Halo was. It's the framework. Like, GoldenEye for the N64 is what Halo is to the original Xbox. It's like the best couch, like, party game that's not fucking party or whatever for the console.
Yeah. Until Perfect Dark came out.
Yeah. But by that point, even then, there was like Unreal.
Well, all right, here's the other thing. With the way that things worked back then without the internet and all of this shit, most people were just playing GoldenEye because that's the one they knew, that's the one they liked. Word of mouth was how things got around back then. So you would have to get around someone who actually went and got Perfect Dark. Man, why would you get Perfect Dark back then? We all know what GoldenEye is. What's a Perfect Dark? I mean, that's how shit worked back then.
Yeah.
It was kind of penalizing to go outside of a movie license in a way.
Yeah, I can see that point. And also, like, back then, with video game media, it was whoever gave up the money to buy fucking shit like Nintendo Power and official PlayStation magazine.
Mm-hmm.
And they would even so, like, only really recognize a few games as, like, holy shit, you gotta get this, right? And then it would be, like, the same kind of franchises.
The N64 will always have a special place in my heart. I still have mine. I'm not going to get rid of it. But it's basically the early CG cartoons of consoles, because it was really good and important in its time. But it did not, and it made a lot of changes that stuck with things and became templates for the industry. But it did not age well in its own right. Very few games. Going back to the N64, like when on the rare occasion I fire mine up to play something, going back to that, nothing really looks or feels as good as it did back when it was new.
Yeah, it's not even like just
That's what
graphically,
she
like
said.
just hey, but it's not even like that. It's just like mechanically, games just do not play that well today at all.
No. So Mexico also pointed out that is why you rented games. No renting games has changed the game as well. not the way that people just don't rent shit. It's like, well, I'll buy it, and if I don't like it, I'll take it back. And then most people just sit there beyond the 7 days and don't take it back.
And here's the thing: another big change is coming up next year. Microsoft is putting out a diskless Xbox One.
The fuck is that?
That means that it's going to be all download games, which is pretty much what games have kind of become today.
Yeah.
Because you just buy a disc for your console. You're
Fallout 76 didn't have no disc.
The only reason I bought the disc for Red Dead Redemption 2, well, that's not true. The only two reasons I bought the disc for Red Dead Redemption 2 is it comes with a map, and I like physical maps, and because it's 100-some gigabyte download, the disc saves you that and just skips right to the installation phase. Saves you like 10 hours.
Yeah. That is true.
There's that.
But it's still like the fact that, like, because back when you used to buy a video game, you put the disc in a game on. Now you put the disc in and you have to install it.
Yeah, yeah.
That is a factor that just was not there before.
This is true. Like, and the fact that I bought the disc to skip right to the installation phase instead of having to go through the 10-hour, 100-gigabyte download phase is kind of sad.
Yeah.
But that's the nature of the modern gaming industry.
It's true. And, like, but my point in bringing up the discless console is that's exactly where the shit's going. Like, look, the PlayStation 4 has a fucking 1 terabyte version now. That's enough for a good set of games. You don't need GameStop and EB Games. You just
Steam
don't.
Machine don't seem so crazy anymore, does it, motherfucker?
Yeah.
Well, it's got that fucking big picture mode, so they can fuck off with that. But besides that,
well, they've actually stopped making those, period.
As they should.
Yeah.
They fucked up.
As well
Jolly
as the
Rogers,
Steam links.
Jolly Rogers threw 2 to say the only true great games coming out nowadays will be from small developers. The only ones that give a shit, top dogs, are just after a paycheck. Not necessarily. But in a lot of cases, I think that the better games that are coming out from mid-size developers. A good case, what's the Hell something? Two examples that I can throw out. And they're both I think they both have chicks as the lead. And it's essentially sword-wielding women doing crazy shit. And I don't know what they're called.
They clearly left a strong impression on you.
No, I didn't play them. Vamp did. Hellblade. Yeah, that's the one. Brian Rex said, yeah. Hellblade and the one with the robo dinosaurs.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. It's like the robo dinosaur Zelda game, but with a woman.
Yeah. Everybody's saying Cyberpunk 2077. That shit looks like everything else.
Horizon Dawn. Zero Horizon.
Yeah, Horizon Dawn. That's the other one with the robo dinosaurs. But Cyberpunk looks like every fucking thing else.
But yeah, we're speaking about games with women wielding weapons. The new Darksiders game is supposedly dog shit. It's instead of the first 2 Darksiders games were like big love letters to the sort of Zelda nature of gaming, and the new one is a cheap ripoff of Dark Souls, because it's not a straight ripoff of Dark Souls. It's more like a ripoff of Lords of the Fallen, which is a cheap ripoff of Dark Souls.
Didn't everything kind of become a cheap thing? Just a rip off of Dark Souls right after Dark Souls.
For a while, yeah. A lot of things just Dark Souls is doing well. Let's do that.
Let's just make Dark Souls. Fuck out of here.
You would be amazed at the number of indie like 2D Dark Souls games like there's
How
the
many
one
do you think have the term Dark Souls in their description? We are the Dark Souls of ... How frequent do you think it is? just used as a descriptor.
Well, let's see. There's Sultan Sanctuary, Necropolis, Dark Mouse, Titan Souls, Hyperlight Drifter, which I'd argue is a bit more Zelda than Dark Souls, but hey. Death's Gambit, and there's a new one out. No, I think that was Death's Gambit that I'm thinking of, actually. But like, there shouldn't be the ability to people to make a list article. 15 games every Dark Souls fan should play, because there shouldn't be 15 other games that are like Dark Souls. We have Dark Souls. We don't need 15 more Dark Souls. We have Dark Souls. We have 1 through 3, Demon Souls, and Bloodborne. Now I think they're also making Bloodborne 2. So if you want that stuff, you can get it from the source. You don't need this.
You like Dark Souls? Well, you're gonna fucking love this. That's
Dead Cells.
Make your
That's
own game. Dead Cells.
Yeah, although that one does have some unique elements that sort of take a genuine new spin on it, so we'll give them a pass. And I think Hyperlight Drifter isn't too Dark Soulsy, at least not in my opinion.
Does anybody have a positive outlook on the Cyberpunk game?
Neo was good too. I forgot about Neo. I have Neo. I forget about Neo.
Good.
Neo is fun. It's like Ninja Souls.
Somebody, that was Zakajit, I think, who said Cyberpunk looked good. Why?
Yeah, I sent a clip to it today. It looks cool.
Why does it? Why do you look at that and think that, okay, this looks cool? Or I don't know. I guess
it looks,
cool wouldn't be.
it looks edgy, futuristic. You know,
What makes it look
with dark?
The better question: what makes it look different?
I don't know about different. I mean, you're getting a bit too specific there.
That's kind of my question. Everybody's talking about how great it's going to be, and like this is going to a big change. All of this shit. Why?
Because it's probably gonna do what people have been wanting Bethesda to do with an open world RPG for the last 10 years.
Do you think that's what's going to happen? That this is
have you guys seen the 50-minute gameplay video that came out like months ago?
I've seen some of it.
That game looks solid as fuck. They put it an hour.
No, it works.
You gotta be cautious with Cyberpunk 2077, because it's by the guys who make The Witcher. And The Witcher 3, I played it for a little over 90 minutes before stopping it and uninstalling it and returning it because I couldn't stand the way it controlled. I recognize it's a very pretty game. The story is very unique.
Anything you say ever again.
You go play the movement controls in that game are ass.
They are fine.
That is the movement controls are and the combat controls are what that game still holds on to from its Euro jank origins. So if Cyberpunk 2077 can fully shirk its Euro jank origins at that studio,
Euro jank.
That's the thing.
Nobody listen to this man. He's Italian. The Witcher 3 is one of the greatest games ever.
It looks like Cyberpunk's going the FPS route anyway. But back to The Witcher 3, like, I'm not one of these guys that says it's the greatest game of all time, but it's super solid. I think the combat is just fine. It's a bit more rhythmic. I guess that's like with the Euro. I don't know.
Maybe they improved. I have played all three. Maybe they patched something better after I played it. I played it pretty close to launch, but when I played it, the movement was sticky, and it would either be too slow or just move you too quick, and it wouldn't be precise. And the combat felt like you were just jumping between enemies constantly, and it didn't feel good.
I had no problems playing with the gameplay or with the movement. I thought the story was incredibly in-depth and rich, especially the DLCs, which were very interesting. And, the graphics were really good. The monsters were really good. The crafting system for the gear is very interesting.
I have to admit, like, just on the DLC, super low price for what you got on its own, CD Projekt deserves major props. You got another full game.
Maybe.
I think the sales and the general reviews of The Witcher 3 speak for themselves.
I never said it was a bad game. I couldn't get past the way it felt to me. so I didn't want to play it.
I can respect that.
I'm also not. I didn't. Yeah, I didn't play the. I try. I mean, I had the second one on Xbox because it was free once, and I have it on PC because it was like $1 once, and I couldn't really get into that either because it didn't feel good.
Well, that's perfectly understandable, you know. Some people don't like the feel of a nice, smooth, wet, tight pussy. I mean, some guys prefer a dick, a nice hard cock.
God damn it, Akagen. God damn it.
It's all in how you look at it.
Yeah, but
Alex. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say the point I was making was back to Cyberpunk. It's just gonna do what people have been wanting Bethesda to do for like the past 15 years. Make
Something
it
real with their engine.
Yeah, something real with their engine, and have an open, but actually has a story in it.
Alex the 735 to say, I spent like $100 just to play my N64 and several other old consoles in HD, and I am buying a bunch of old stuff to renovate it. Dongwave can suck my dick. People were serious about the old Perfect Darks. But I'll say this about the new thing.
I was the one who said Perfect Dark was good. What are you on about?
Yeah, they may have you confused with me. I was burying Perfect Dark, I think. But I'll say, I got to be honest. Like, The Witcher 3, didn't like it. I know a lot of people did like it. I wasn't big on it. I only played it for like 10, 20 minutes because you get to the shit where, okay, I have to sit here and mix up all my shit. I have to fucking do it's like, okay, yeah, fuck it. I'll play something else. It's more fun.
Yeah, I think that's a thing that modern games have is they don't let you play the fucking game fast enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's also there's an updated fully ported GoldenEye game for the PC that plays really well from what I've heard. Like the translation to mouse and keyboard controls for that game was smooth, and everything's been updated. It's a really good, and it has online, so you can play online. It's a really good shooter from what I've heard.
See, if it wasn't a licensed title, I bet Rare would have just made another one by now.
I think Rare did make a remake of it.
I believe that.
I thought Rare did make a new one.
Like a new GoldenEye. I'm talking like today. I'm not talking like because I know they did one Nightfire. That was Rare as well.
Yeah, I believe so. Nightfire. Let's see. GoldenEye 007 HD could have looked. So maybe they were making one and somebody canceled it.
I think that was a fan-made one.
Working on one, and they put out some stuff on it, but then it got canceled. But
what was the last version that Rare made? The C game.
Killer Instinct.
Oh, I thought they made the C game.
Which C game?
Sea of Thieves.
That
No.
shit. That
Wait,
wasn't them?
Oh yeah, that was them. That was them. Yeah.
Yeah, that was them. That was fucking them.
Yeah.
About that.
Yeah.
Hype train. If I've ever seen like the fucking hype train.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. I just went to check Rare's the list of games developed by Rare on Wikipedia, and I went all the way down to modern times.
None of them are good in the past 10, 12 years.
Oh, hold on. Prior to Sea of Thieves, none of them were. They had Rare Replay, which was just a rehash of all their old games. Connect Sports, Killer Instinct, Connect Sports, Banjo-Kazooie, Nuts and Bolts, and the Viva Pinata games. But in 2019, they're coming out with Battletoads.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
They can keep it. I think it's time that everybody just got honest with themselves and admitted that Rare sucked. How about that?
Here's what happened with Rare. They were great up until Microsoft bought them.
They were great, and yeah, I won't even
like they made Diddy Kong Racing. They made Diddy Kong or Donkey Kong 64. I'm pretty sure they made Perfect Dark and they made GoldenEye. But when Microsoft bought them to make exclusives for the Xbox 360, rip in peace.
Well, what about Conkers? That shit, I don't think that shit was as good as people pretend.
Oh no, it was just funny.
Yeah, the only thing about burp and fart jokes. Fuck off. It's Rare gets. It's another one that gets a pass, and they've been getting a pass for almost 20 years. This shit sucks.
Like
Rare's
the best
terrible.
they've made in the last 10 years is the new Killer Instinct. and that game flopped because they tried some stupid like MOBA style bullshit with the characters when they first launched it. It's free. You could only use 3. If you want some more, give us $10. If you want everyone, or like it wasn't even $10 at the time, it was like 30. It was full price if you wanted to get like some of the fighters, but not quite all of them. It was stupid.
I'm going to make a
packs for
bold
the
statement
fighters.
that a lot of people aren't going to agree with. Banjo-Kazooie kind of sucks.
Yes.
Yeah, it was overrated. It was overrated as fuck.
Anyone?
Banjo-Kazooie
Okay, hold on.
sucked.
Before anyone jumps down my throat over that one in the chat, go play Banjo-Kazooie again. Just go play. Just go fire it up if you can, or even go watch some video of it and see if that's really what you think it was when you were like a little kid playing it on your console, like I was. I remember being fun then, but it has aged so poorly. And it wasn't even like all that fun then, if you're being honest with yourself. The characters were funny and the world was cute, but you're just collecting bullshit.
Yeah, I didn't even really like it back.
I'm with Gadfly. All the mascot games sucked. Fuck off. Like just all those sucked. Mascot games were terrible. I don't like Crash Bandicoot. It was garbage.
I mean, technically, Super Mario is a mascot game.
It sucked. I never liked Mario.
I did.
Most people do like Mario, but I don't like Mario.
Mario gets a pass.
I think Medieval was okay.
They're making a new one. They're remaking that, rather. Not making a new one. They're remaking Medieval.
Interesting.
And I think a lot of people have speculated that the remake is a prelude to a proper sequel.
See, I don't know if they should be making sequels to video games that are almost 30 years old.
Oh, well, come on. Why the fuck not? Battletoads 2 coming next year.
No, it's just called Battletoads, actually. I think that one's also a remake.
It's a reboot.
Or an
rebooting
update.
the Battletoads.
Or whatever.
God, I hate shit now. Everything's a remake.
There's
no creativity.
The best thing that has ever come out of Battletoads is the fucking prank
menu
call
music.
joke.
No, the pause
Y'all
menu
got
music.
Battletoads?
That shit was not funny. That was just annoying.
Do you
The best shit was the pause menu.
Do you have Battletoads for the Wii?
Hey, you got Battletoads. You guys got Battletoads. Yes, hilarious. Hilarious. Oh, the only thing I can
San
think of.
Francisco Rush. Holy shit! There's a game I haven't heard from in years.
San Francisco Rush 5. Can't wait for that one.
Hold on. I just looked back at this list. I was going to close it, but then I caught out of the side of my eye here. In 2005, Rare came out with a game called It's Mr. Pants.
What?
Oh no!
It's Mr. Oh God, this looks horrifying. Hold on, I'm going to put the image in the Discord.
Rare needs to. Why didn't they just fucking off that fucking studio? They're not good. Like there are all these studios that made awesome shit, and they got nuked.
Well, they made
What the fuck
awesome
happened to
shit.
them?
They made awesome shit for 20 years ago. Never expanded.
Decent shit. Like the Donkey Kong games, those are all right.
Yeah,
that's the only Rare game I can remember that I don't really have anything
Basic
bad to say
idea.
about.
I'll say
The
Diddy
basic
Kong Racing
idea
is
of the
better.
game is to create rectangles which have to be 2 by 3 blocks or larger to clear them from the grid. Blocks cannot be placed on top of blocks of the same color that are already on the grid, but they must be placed on top of blocks of any other color, which causes
This already
different
sounds
blocks.
monumentally boring.
Well, it's
Oh,
funny
God.
because in the UK, pants is slang for something being kind of bad. So yeah, it's Mr. Fucking Pants, all right.
Jesus.
How much did it sell over there in the UK? Did they? Yeah, the bad game. Yeah, let me get that. Fuck.
Yeah, you're the 8th person to ever buy this game.
Congratulations.
I almost fell asleep with your description of the game there, man.
Yeah.
That's-
How do you think I felt reading it?
On top of block, on top
Did you see the picture I posted? Look at this
Mhm.
cover they came out with.
It looks like straight garbage.
It's like Dig Dug, but somehow less fun. No, Dig Dug was fun. That's not fair. This is what I'm talking about. Like the games, even though they were simplistic before, they were fun. Simple to understand, fun. You didn't need a tutorial for Dig Dug, all right? Dig Dug was, you could understand it. Mario didn't need a tutorial. Sonic probably needed a tutorial, honestly, but it didn't have one.
Sonic, does it really need a tutorial? Or just running to the
It
side?
needed like a 30-second tutorial to say stop going so fast or go so fast.
What is it about Sonic that made it the mascot for the autistic?
Who knows?
It's Sonic.
It was the cartoon.
All I know is
the
that
cartoon.
They go ape shit over.
all I know is that I know a guy from high school that beat that shit 3 times in class once because he could just clear it in 15 minutes, the whole game.
Jesus.
I saw that live. I was like, how? Yeah, I just know where everything is. And it wasn't
people who they figure out the fucking thing on Mario where you can go up above the level and just warp to the end.
Yeah, or they just go through
Dickheads.
like they know all the pipes and they can just get to the end of the game in like half an hour.
Yeah.
That shit.
You assholes. That kind of shit, that used to be viewed as cheating. Now that's like, no, that's how you play it. Okay. All right, I guess that's how you play it then.
I think what made Sonic the thing for like furries and shit was the Sonic Underground cartoon.
You think so?
And maybe Adventures.
Can I say something about Sonic Adventure? Both of them.
Sure.
They are both overrated garbage, and they are neither better than Sonic 06. They're all the same type of quality in my eyes.
I will go to bat and say that the sequel, Adventure Battle 2, is better than 06. It's not a good game. It's better than 06, if only because it had a really surprisingly deep chow growing thing where you could raise your chows and make them better and add animal parts to them. And that whole thing, it makes it a hair better than 06.
Yeah, like if we're going to say 06 is 5 out of 10, then Sonic Adventure Battle 2 is a 5.1 out of 10.
Why can't we just go full honesty here? Sonic was never good.
The first 3 games I'll give.
At best, it was passable. It is alright. At best. At best.
Sonic was not my
Sonic was not anybody's thing, and that's why Sonic's where it is now. Sonic was never good. What is the Sonic gimmick? You run fast.
Go fast.
Right? You go fast.
Yeah.
All right.
You go really, really fast.
Like that's the gimmick. That's all there is to it. Okay, he goes fast. And
you know what
you
I
ever
say
hold
about
down
Sonic?
B in Mario?
You ever hold down B in Mario?
Here's what I'll say about Sonic. Sonic would have been a great game if the levels were designed for it properly. If you didn't just run fast and then have to like avoid a wall or just run right into a wall because you didn't jump onto the bouncy pad at the right time. And the bouncy pad's located right in front of the walls. Like I hate that kind of like fake trial and error bullshit.
No, let's
I'm gonna
be
make another.
honest.
I'm gonna
If
make
it was
another
designed
bold
correctly,
statement.
it would be Bubsy.
I'm gonna make another bold statement about Sonic. I'm gonna say that the single best thing to ever come out of Sonic is either, depending on how you look at it, either the Sonic Twitter account, which is hilarious, or the original Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon, because it's so bad, but it's bad in a way that's hilarious as opposed to the games.
Maybe. I think the Chester the Cheetah Twitter accounts is better. That's just my call.
Chester the Cheetah.
He's out there trying to fuck furries and shit.
Oh my god, no.
When they went after Tony the Tiger and Tony turned them all down, Chester the Cheetah's like, "Come on over here. Come on over here. We'll love you, right?"
The internet
is fucked up.
The internet is undefeated. Oh my god.
Fucking Sonic is what? I don't know. To me, he's a perpetual 15th place.
Like he's not even perpetual second place. He's perpetual 15th place. Sonic
Mhm.
was never good. He's one of those things that you're just constantly told. Well, no, he's a staple of the internet. Okay, he's a staple of gaming. He's a staple of our pop culture. No, the fuck he's not. No, the fuck he's not. If he was, he would be able to sell games.
Oof.
Well, it's the truth. What happened to Sega? Didn't Sega used to make all kinds of cool shit? They're now
They still
essentially
do.
relegated. Or do they still put out different games than Sonic?
Yeah, Yakuza.
Oh yeah, good call.
And
on that, by the way.
and here's the thing. Sega, after the Dreamcast failed, that story I could get into, but I'm not gonna, because that's about like a 15-minute rant.
Because they're stupid.
Oh yeah, basically that's what it is. Because stupid. Like shortly after the Dreamcast failed, they got bought out or they did a merger with Sammy Holdings, and that's made them the best they've ever been in the modern era. They started making good games again, like Yakuza. And
For about 10 minutes, they were the guys who made Sonic games.
Yeah, exactly.
And not good Sonic games.
Mm-hmm.
Like Sonic games where Sonic's making out with questionably aged-looking little girls and shit. It's weird. Stop it. Don't do this. Fix
They
this.
also Sega owned Atlas, which makes a lot of like JRPG, like Persona, which has just sold the highest it's ever done in that franchise. So Sega as a company owns a lot of really good shit. They've got a solid like cast of shit, and they're actually like being more putting shit on.
There's something wrong with a company that it takes them this long to let this click in their head. You know, let's make something good.
Yeah.
Like I know we're sucking, but let's make something decent real quick. Give me a second. Let's make something decent, and then put out like fucking Yakuza. People get
Bayonetta?
slack-jawed about the shit. They do Bayonetta.
Yep.
Okay.
They
I don't
do
even like
Vanquish.
Bayonetta. Vanquish, I don't know what that is, but Bayonetta, I never liked.
Mm.
The woman's hair is her weapon. Don't fucking at me with this bullshit. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, Vanquish is fucking hilarious. It's just like a Starship. I won't even say Starship Troopers, but it's like time control robot shooter. It's weird.
Time controlled robot shit. Fuck that. Fuck all that.
It's a weird version of time control. It's interesting.
What was that game where the gimmick was you can control the enemies?
Is
that
We're gonna have to
Mind
narrow
Jack?
that down.
Mind Jack. Yeah, that was
Fucking
shit.
Mind Jack.
That shit was fucking hilarious. I
The
borrowed
one
that
cool thing that game did was in the multiplayer where you were in the multiplayer for that game is you would just be playing your game like normal in story mode, and suddenly one of the enemies would be another human being, kind of like Dark Souls, but in a shooter.
Dark Souls, but a shooter.
Yeah, they should make that. I'd be interested in
The
that.
Dark Souls of shooters. Total
Be
War
better
is
than
fucking
fucking the
great. Somebody said
Surge.
so. I don't even know what the Surge is.
The Surge is industrial Dark Souls.
Yeah. It's
Mm.
landfill Dark Souls.
Yeah, you play in a big industrial campus. So you start as a guy going there for a job who's paralyzed from the waist down, and they get he went there because they give you exosuits that they install into you. But when you get your exosuit installed, the system goes wrong, and A, forgets to anesthetize you, so it looks really painful, and B, something else goes wrong that causes the entire fucking facility to go to shit. And all the other people in suits, well, most of them, aside from a few NPC type characters, most of them have gone nuts. So you have to fight them. And the bosses are robots. And like you, one of the mechanics is if you're fighting somebody, you can target specific pieces of their armor, and if you do a finishing move, you get that piece of armor or mod or whatever. It looked fun at first. But I watched somebody play enough of it on a stream once where it got to about the third to halfway point after like 2 or 3 bosses where it looked like they ran out of stuff and just sort of stretched the game out further with nothing really to do. And there weren't that many weapons or anything interesting.
Padding the game out.
Yeah.
Making shit intentionally grindy. By the way, we'll sell you some XP boosts if you want. Fuck you.
If they had
Sorry, I'm
taken the
tired of it.
Surge and made it like a $20 game that was like 2-3 hours long tops, it could have been okay. But they made it a full price release, and it didn't do well after a while.
Of course. Why wouldn't it? I hate this shit. All right, artificial grind. That's another one thrown in. The artificial grind to incentivize you to do the loot box gimmick. Also killing games.
Putting out you saw what happened.
3 boxes. You know the Fallout fucking 76 shit. It had 3 fucking boxes it came with to display your fucking game. Not a disc in any of the boxes. It's got 3 boxes for the disc. That ain't real. That's real. That's
Honestly,
that's such a bizarre kind of thing too. It's like an artifact of a bygone era at that point.
Yeah.
We have these boxes, but we do not know what they are for. But you saw what happened with I just had it. It was the Lord of the Rings game, the sequel to the Lord of the Rings game, where it's a single player game, but they added
Shadow of War.
Shadow of Mordor 2, where they added loot boxes and stuff, and
they had to completely
after like 3 months they had to take them out, and then the game was broken, so they had to rebalance the game because it basically showing that the game was intentionally misbalanced so that you'd buy the loot boxes.
It's
But they would
the
never
only
do that.
reason that I've started playing the new Assassin's Creed Odyssey is because like right at like level 25, that grind gets super real, and I refuse to give them money for an XP boost. I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
you should get this stuff out of the single player. Like anything that you pay money for or is single player shouldn't have that bullshit in it. That stuff should be reserved for free games. It's one thing like,
and not even fucking does that shit.
Warframe is a good example. Warframe is free, and that game has a lot to offer for free, but it's justified in having some monetization. And the monetization that is all cosmetic anyway. Another game that has, in my opinion, justification for monetization is what is it? I have it
Hold
here.
on, real quick. Everything you can get from the monetization in Warframe, you have the ability to earn that through gameplay. You can earn that shit. You can earn up and sell the fucking stuff that you gather, and you can earn the money to turn around and buy the shit that you want to buy. Well, like you said, it's mostly cosmetics and shit like that, but at the end of the day, you are still able to earn that shit. It's a massive difference. Incentivizing people to throw the money because, it'll take less time, blah, blah, all that shit. Okay, fine. But having it there that if you want to earn it, it's there. Completely different.
That's
completely different.
That's one of the things I like about Path of Exile. It's free to play, and you can't pay to get ahead. There's absolutely no items in the game or whatever that you can't get that you can pay for. You can spend money on the game on microtransactions, but they're all cosmetic effects or effects changes. It's not like I can buy this sword or whatever, or I can be a credit card player.
A credit card player. That's like, I can't believe that's a fucking thing now. But
War
I know what
Thunder.
you mean.
That's the game.
That's actually
War
a
Thunder.
very old. That's actually a very old credit card players. They're the guys that would pay to get ahead, as opposed to grinding the game with.
What do they call them now, though? It's fucking the whales.
Yeah, whales. Dolphins, whales, and normal users are the 3 classifications. Whales are the guys who get hardcore addicted and just spend crazy money on these nonsense games because they, for whatever reason. Dolphins are the people who will occasionally splurge and buy some stuff, but don't make a habit out of it. And normal players, for the most part, don't buy or buy very, very infrequently or once or twice total. And they're all out there whale hunting.
The disincentivizing to play the game. The disincentivization to play a game.
Hi, we made a game, but we don't really want you to play it. What we want you to do is keep throwing money at us so you don't have to play the game. You can complete this motherfucker by just throwing more money at us. Hit me up.
The best
That's a hell of a
examples.
business model.
Yeah, well,
best
I
examples
think
of
South
that
Park
business
did
model.
an episode on it.
Yes, they
called
did.
Premium Game.
The best examples of that business model are games like Warframe or War Thunder, where the game itself is fun, and you want to keep playing it so that, and especially like War Thunder is the one I have experience with. I didn't play Warframe, but I've played War Thunder. War Thunder's good because for the first like 3 tiers of planes you unlock, they unlock pretty damn quick. You're getting plane after plane after plane. It's only once you get to like tier 3 and 4 where it's taking forever to get a new plane, and by that point, you've had a good 60 plus hours of fun anyway. So it's and you all you're doing is if you don't want to pay for it, you just keep doing the game, just keep playing the game. You don't have to. It doesn't necessarily. You just have to play more of it. Whereas these other games, a lot of them add elements that do things like I've heard. The War Thunder competitor, World of Warplanes, World of Tanks, World of Warships, that sort of trio, which War Thunder does on its own. It has tanks, airplanes, and boats in War Thunder, but its competitors are those 3. They do things like have premium ammo that you have to pay for and shit.
People buy it, don't they?
Yeah, they do. You can buy premium tank shells for your tank in World of War Tanks. I don't believe that's a mechanic in War Thunder. I can't say for sure because I never really played the tank element. I only really played the planes in War Thunder.
I'd be fucking ashamed. I would just be fucking ashamed. It's if you look at the games that used to come out. I know that we stress this that it used to have to come out complete. You didn't get to come back and fix the shit afterward.
Yeah.
And we keep pointing that's a big thing. But even worse, the thing that I find really insulting about the whole thing. You go to play a game now, and buying the game is not enough to experience the game. That's not good enough. That's just, you need to pay more.
Yeah,
we're going to let you have money, or we're going to let you have this game since you paid us money, that will grant you the privilege to pay us more money. That's what they're doing. They will sell you a ticket that will give you the privilege to hand them more money. It's gross.
Yeah, and again, like we said, that works when the base game's free. And in my opinion, games like War Thunder, I thought was such a high quality game and so much fun that, in my opinion, because it justified it for me personally, I considered it just worthy of being paid for. So I did end up buying a few things for the premium things for that. Not crazy. I spent maybe $50 total, which is the cost of a game, which I think it's worth that. I would pay that for that game if it had those things, and it's worthy of that. But it had the chance to prove that to me first. Whereas if I'm already paying that up front, I shouldn't be expected to pay more. And Grand Theft Auto Online, which I know a lot of people here I used to love, is a great example. Because Grand Theft Auto Online, when it first came out, the money grind was real. And granted, later on they added things to make it better. You could do businesses, you could run a motorcycle gang, you could have
But
a
does that
corporation.
really do it better? Does that really do it better?
Exactly. It's not that big of an improvement. It's still
Now you're sitting there waiting on timers.
It's treating a symptom, not curing the problem.
I think it just added in timers, which is another thing that has to get the fucking timers out of games.
Yeah.
Take your meters and take your timers and get fucked.
Grand Theft Auto Online was at its most fun when for either because somebody teleported to you and gave you a bunch of money, or back when it first came out and they had that glitch on 360 where people were getting like $9 billion bounties by fiddling with their router settings.
Yeah.
And you just had all the money anyway, so you just do whatever you want, and then it was fun. I didn't buy this game to work a second job earning money in the game. I bought this game to shoot people and steal their cars.
How miserable is it that that's the norm now, though?
You can't even steal. That's what really bothered me. There in Grand Theft Auto Online, there are cars you can't steal.
No.
Yeah, that's kind of. I only just started playing TA Online because some certain Cuban told me to like start playing with him, and so I bought the game. Then he had the bad person reward or something for being a bad guy, so he can't play.
Straight to the naughty corner.
Yeah, but there's a few things about it that piss me. Like I can't just go out and shop for the cars that I want by stealing them.
I hate that GTA is going to become the norm. I've heard that Red Dead Online is going to be ridiculously similar to GTA, and that makes me sad in many ways because there's potential for something more, something better, but somebody's going to have to be better. Someone has to want to be better here.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
And they're gonna. And the problem is that there's a financial hit with being better, because Grand Theft Auto Online, for all its flaws, is the most profitable piece of media ever made.
Mm-hmm.
It's made more money than any other video game, movie thing. It's just made all the money. So by doing so, it has set itself as the new norm for people who want to make money, which most businesses do. Which is, you got to rely on someone who's not just in it for the money, who has a genuine passion for games. And once you get to the size of a company that you need to make a game of that quality, it's really hard to get those two things to be to be together. Because once you're at that size, you have to, not only do you have to make money, you at least have to fund your company. You have to pay your employees. You have to pay for the servers. These things do cost money. But you also, at that size, you're going to have shareholders who want money too.
That's the shit that I think went wrong with a lot of shit. Instead of pleasing customers, let's please some shareholders, guys. Let's turn our video game into a live service. Live service, that's the way of the future, right?
Yeah,
That's
well,
what they call it.
Let's see how well that works out for the gamers. Won't stand for that shit.
The thing
People just won't play it.
I don't intend to
think
play
that's the
Red Dead
case?
2 online.
Yeah.
No, I think they'll keep playing.
People will, gamers will play a 4-year-old game for continuously rather than play a brand new game that came out if it's shit. Nobody's going to play Fallout. If they start releasing trash, people will stop buying it. They will just play the old games that we have already got until something is released that is worth playing.
Let me put it this way, okay? Counter-Strike Global Offensive is both old and still extremely profitable because of its skin market.
The skin shit, but that's gone away.
It's going away. It's not gone away.
It's going still.
Well, the Steam marketplace is still there, but a lot of the independent like skin gambling and external sites are slowly getting shut down. But that game still has, right at this moment, 387,000 people playing it.
Fuck. All right. It still seems lively.
And that game is from 2012.
Oh no, all right. I get that it's from 2012, but all the monetization and shit inside of that game, a lot of that shit is around the sides. You know what I'm talking about? That isn't something built into the game. Whereas in Fallout 76, of course, it's got the problem built into the game. Fucking GTA problem built into the game. Red Dead soon will have the problem built into the game. EA Battlefront problem built into the game.
I've heard a lot of good reviews about Red Dead too.
No, it's good. It's fun. I'm talking about the online. They're saying that the online will be set up with the exact same business model as GTA.
It's out this weekend, I heard, so we'll find out soon enough. But I don't intend to play it. I thought Grand Theft Auto 5 was a good game, and the single player in and of its own right was probably the best Grand Theft Auto I've ever seen. I the characters were great, and I liked the addition of Trevor, who is a great character for people who just want to play around and do whatever the fuck they want, because he has legitimate story, justification for being a psychopath.
Oh, Trevor's fucking awesome. He's a character and a half.
He's my favorite character that ever come out of a Grand Theft Auto game. But
he's the Canadian. He's the Canadian that Warski wishes he was.
There you go.
Instead, he just uses a lot of meth.
Always forgot that guy's Canadian.
Well, hey, that's not unlike Warski. Anyway, that was good. If Red Dead Redemption 2 is one of the best games I've ever played. Period. It's a fantastic game. But I don't want to ruin that by going online. And the biggest problem with the online is not, in my opinion, and maybe they'll do this better in Red Dead, but I don't know. But the biggest problem with the online in Grand Theft Auto is not the monetization. It's not the grind. It's not the timers. It's not all that bullshit. It's how they treat their customers. Because I put over almost 1,000 hours into that game between two consoles. And all it took was one dude to teleport me to him and give me a bunch of fake money on PC, and they reset my entire character with no chance to appeal it at all. No appeal, no nothing. Just, you're banned for a month and you're reset.
They got a lot of shit for the way that they handle the bans and shit like that.
Maybe you should
notice that.
Maybe you should have thought about that before you got teleported and given money.
Yeah, maybe I should have just not played online.
That's right.
Just get sued. Did GTA ever get sued? Did they catch a lawsuit? I know that fucking... Yeah, they did. They got one from Lindsay Lohan. Okay.
I got a phone call. I'll be right back.
Lindsay Lohan for fucking what?
Something about her likeness. She sued him for that. Nowhere close to the bullshit that the Fallout fuckers are getting right now for the deceptive business practice. But still, it counts.
Any game with a trashy blonde whore in it, Lindsay Lohan could sue for likeness.
I think
All right,
that's
guys,
what she did for a minute.
I got a dip. My truck's done at the undercoating place. I got to go pick it up. So I'll see you.
Donganolove.
All right, take it easy, Donganolove.
Peace
Ciao.
out.
Yeah.
Oh, she sued them 3 times. Excuse me. She didn't just sue them once. She sued the fuckers 3 fucking times.
And lost every time.
Lost every time. Do you think this Fallout lawsuit's going to work out in their favor? Or do you think it's going to work out in the people's favor?
Well, the problem with going up against any sort of business is that they can outspend you 10 times to 1. I mean, what are they suing them for? The fact that the game's shit? I mean...
I think that is what they're suing them for. I really think that's what they're suing them for.
Maybe you could sue them for releasing a defective product. I know that when you buy certain products, they are required to work to a certain degree. I mean, if I go into a shop and I buy something, I take it home, it doesn't work. I get to take it back.
Most cases. Most cases.
And based on what I'm seeing from 76, the game does not work. It's not just a piece of shit. It's a piece of shit that doesn't fly.
It's an unfunctioning piece of shit.
Yeah.
I can go with that. Unfunctioning piece of shit that nobody needs. Fallout 76 really don't have much to offer. No. Class action rarely recovers much for the class. The lawyers fronting make bank. No shit. Those lawyers who jumped on Reddit, they're going to make bank. They're going to be just fine. I'm surprised it took this long, honestly. I'll put it that way. I'm really surprised it took this long for people who get into the Bethesda games to just have enough. I would have thought it had been a few years ago when they started charging for mods that other people had made. Thought it would have been years ago when they started taking mods people made and making them the game and giving zero credit for. I would have thought this would have happened when they were releasing games for over a decade that weren't finished, buggy, glitchy, and complete pieces of fucking garbage. I would have thought they would have caught on by then.
Speaking of lawsuits, how do you think Valor Fights is going to handle the threat of the lawsuit from Warski?
Probably the same way everybody else deals with threats from Warski.
I mean, he's got a point. He didn't agree to fight a cartoon. This wasn't what he signed up for.
I'll be honest, I don't care what Warski signed up for. The fact that they bitch so much, that ensures that 100% I won. Listening to everybody bitch. Listening to them cry, that means I won.
They couldn't bitch at you because not only are you not on Twitter, but you wouldn't give a fuck anyway. So they started, crying to Tara, and she basically told them fuck off. So now they're on the promoters page, posting, dropping salt all over there.
Why wouldn't they? Why the fuck wouldn't they?
Because it makes you look like a little bitch.
What the fuck were they supposed to do with their time? Not talk about me?
He put an avatar on there. This is outrageous. This is outrageous. I won't stand for this.
I think it's about time to accept that I am the most interesting man on the internet, and there's not much else they can do about it. I am the most interesting motherfucker on the internet.
They're complaining that you're using that avatar as a disgrace to fighting.
Andy is a disgrace to fighting. This promotion putting Andy on a card with pros is a disgrace to fighting.
I would agree.
Why the fuck would I care? Why the fuck would I care? Maybe if they cry for another week or so, people will try to placate them. Who knows?
I don't know. I imagine that this is just going to go nowhere.
Well, they're so very, very used to crying and getting their way. So I don't know why would you expect for them to act any differently now? You have pretty much literal grown babies crying at the top of their lungs, just screaming and wailing because they didn't get what they wanted. Because for some reason, the people on this side of the internet are so fucking deluded. They think that anyone in the world answers to these fucking retards. They don't get it when I don't do it. And they're like, oh, we got one over on you, Taka. Because that's the only way they can get one over on me, is pretend that I give a shit about anything they have to say. And now when someone else doesn't give a shit about what they have to say, they don't know what to do with it. It's like, what is this weird thing where people in the real world don't care what I have to say? Well, it's reality.
This doesn't make sense. I wrote it on Twitter. Why isn't it happening?
Mr. Make-A-Wish said it, so they got to do it. What are you, high?
It's got to be true. Mr. Make-A-Wish is the Joe Rogan of internet MMA.
Yeah, fucking YouTube see it. Well, not even YouTube CNN. It's fucking, they're like fucking PBS CNN at this point. Ralph Retort said this, so it's true. It's unfair unless Andy gets to see him. It's unfair. Get the fuck out of here. Unfair. This will never be fair. This was never going to be fair. It's horribly unfair. Would it be more fair if I use a wheelchair? Will that make it more fair?
That might be more fair.
Will that be more fair? It'll be more fair if I do all this. Oh, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. One day, all of these idiots will die. And upon their tombstones, they will simply write, I cried until I got what I wanted. Because that's all they did their entire life. Like in their head, they keep trying to tell each other, well, look, if we do all of this, then it means this and this and this. What they don't understand
is that nothing that happens will change anything. At the end of this fight, I'm still going to be who I was before the fight. A bad motherfucker. Andy will be the same thing he was before the fight. Some cuck bitch. Nothing changes. My resume stays the same. I'm honest, I ain't even going to add Andy's a victor over Andy to that shit. Not even adding Andy to the shit. Not taking any payment for the shit. Andy doesn't count. He's convinced himself he's some superstar and we're all privileged that he's going to actually do this shit. You're fucking crazy. You're fucking crazy if you think anybody thinks that way. Other than the people who are sitting over there doing what he's doing. Sitting over there, oh, you're doing great, bud. You're going to be a star. You're going to do great, Andy. Andy's going to die. If I get my way, Andy will die in the ring. I hope the ref stops me. Because if he doesn't, then you guys... A lot of tears will be had over there. Billy through 5. Billy Senpai Gaming, to be specific, said Bethesda releasing game with glitches. Shocker. Don't worry, they'll release all the patches and expansion packs that will cost you more money. And that someone else made on the Nexus. Keep that in mind. Also that. Also someone else's shit.
The thing is, though, 76 is so broken, nobody's going to buy it and bother to patch it. The people that would have made the game better and patch it, they're not going to bother.
Allowed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
even
not allowed
if even if you could, they wouldn't.
Oh. Let me find this. Oli says, for some reason, I think Jim is a former special needs school teacher that went insane, and now all he does is do debates with internet retards. Well, yeah, probably, Sammy. I think he used to be a school teacher. The way that he talks to people in his videos, like, he doesn't talk like that whenever he's talking, but whenever he's in his videos and talking to people, he sounds like a fucking kindergarten teacher pointing to a board, instructing all of the kids. This is what you need to think, kids. This is kids. Kids, get your almonds jogging, kids. Nukamal said that he won't if it's Herb Dean, probably talking about ending the fight before someone dies. You're right. Herb will let him die. We need to try to get Herb Dean. That's who we need to get. There's what's the wasn't another guy back? No, it was Kim Winslow. She would let people die. Sometimes Kim Winslow would let some people die. Can't wait. Maybe we'll get Kim Winslow. She'll let it go way too long. Somebody end up getting hurt. I don't know if she even still fucking.
Maybe they will if they campaign on Twitter and piss off the voter.
Cat Mandingo says, I'm not understanding why he's so against Tonka. Jim is against me because I don't fucking think he's that important. And he doesn't know what to do with people who don't think he's important. There's your answer. Why does Jim bitch so much about me? Because I think he's an obnoxious whore. That's why. Because I'm not fascinated by some fucking 40-year-old virgin who, well, I don't know. I don't think he's a virgin, but he ain't got no fucking dime pieces. Not upset, not really impressed by a 40-year-old fucking goofy bitch who's been laid off of his fucking job, lives off of fucking Patreon money, and its claim to fame is bitching about furries and Sargon. I'm sorry, it doesn't fucking impress me. It just doesn't. Not even a little. There's nothing to be impressed with there.
From what I've heard, Jade's pretty hot. Just saying.
If you're into that, if you're into her. Drax said, Jim found someone whose skin he can't get under, and it literally makes Jim furious, and that's hilarious as fuck. Well, yeah. I'd bother the shit out of that faggot. All right. Do that, and we'll start to wrap things up for like the next 10 minutes, and then you can click stuff. So go there for a minute. All right. We'll fuck with people for like another 10 minutes, and then we will bebop out of here.
You want to take some to a quick call in?
If they exist.
There
I
are
forgot. I
some
forgot to
people.
even do that. If they exist, grab them.
All right.
Tell them they got to go fast today, though. I'm gonna grab them.
Hello.
Well, I brought everyone in at the same time.
Oh shit! What up?
God, you sound fucking docile as fuck. Did you take some fucking painkillers before you hopped on stream? Who is that? Is that Gigastar that sounded like that?
No, that's how I normally sound.
Oh.
Is that too much fentanyl in your moose dandruff?
Do I sound?
No.
So what brings you around, Gigastar?
Like we're talking about
What
video
brings
games.
you to these parts? Talking about video games brought you around here. Well, what say you? What say you?
Oh, what games are you looking forward to next year?
Me?
I don't even know what's coming out next year.
I don't look forward to games. Like if it fucking comes out and it looks like it works and it's fun, I'll hit it up. But I don't look forward to games.
We have been talking about Quest 76. If you have an opinion on that.
Quest 76.
What a god awful game.
Well, it's such an amazing thing to launch a digital distribution service on, I think. I'm sure Bethesda are going to look back on this week and think, man, that was good. This really made Bethesda Net work.
You sound really amazed. I don't know whether I can handle your
have anything else
enthusiasm.
on it? Do they have
I don't-
anything else on it?
I don't know, actually. I'll go have a look quickly.
Like Bethesda Net is this game. And wait, is it Elder Scrolls Online too? Was that on there? Are those the two games on there?
I never bothered playing Elder Scrolls Online.
They used to advertise Skyrim a lot.
Oh.
I like
they've also
Skyrim.
got
I usually
Doom Eternal.
prefer first play games. Solo game.
Okay, they've
Me
also
too.
got Doom Eternal. Looks like they've got Prey, Quake Champions, Rage 2, Elder Scrolls Blades, Elder Scrolls Legend, Elder Scrolls on Wolfenstein Youngblood. What the fuck is Starfield?
Man, Doom doesn't count. Bethesda doesn't make that. That's just id working for Doom.
Pretty much.
Hold on. Victor said he was saying that he respects anyone who can do the thing off of Patreon. No, that's fine. If you don't sit around bitching about people making their money off of Patreon all the time.
Speaking of which, when's the last time Jim's made content? Anyone
He doesn't
remember?
have to make content. And even when he does make content, it's just the fucking kill stream with him interlaying a few fucking comments in. That fucking Matt video was... He ought to be ashamed.
I don't even know what
His
happened
videos
to
are
him. I haven't
fast
seen him
grabs.
talk in a while. I think he was on that CRP channel, I guess, but he's not even
He
active on
was.
Twitter.
He was on the CRP thing. That's where he put forward his counter offer to Tonka.
Yeah,
And then I counter-offered him because, as per usual, these fucking idiots think that they get the last say because they're on the internet. What is wrong with these fucking idiots?
To be fair, I don't know whether he heard your counter offer or whether it's been accepted yet. I'm keeping up with.
I do not know or care. Fucking like that's the thing.
How do you not know?
I'll throw a counter-offer.
How do you not know or care? If you win the fight, you could make him wear that dress.
Because he's not that fucking important to me. He is some fucking goof on the internet. 40 fucking years old, bitching about furries and mundane Matt. What is wrong with your life? What happened to you?
You don't
There's
want him to do
furries
the
in
face reveal?
Fuck furries.
I'd rather not.
It's not that important.
Furries are not nearly as obnoxious as the senior citizens crying about them.
I mean, to be fair, I don't either, but it would just be an interesting wager versus just burning a channel down. Because I mean,
Well, no, that's what I said. If he wanted to throw that offer, my counter offer was very simple. The exact same video to be made by him that will sit on his channel for 1 week before he deletes that shit. Simple counter offer.
Personally, I find 1 week to be a bit optimistic.
Oh, that would be very optimistic. That would put forth that he actually had the balls to do what he expects everybody else to do. He doesn't. I know nobody said Jim just wants to have a laugh. Yes, and obsess about Sargon. And obsess about this, 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 and obsess about this. That's all he does. He obsesses and then masquerades like he doesn't care about it. That's his fucking that's the big shield he holds up. Well, I don't really care. I'm just here to laugh. No, you're not. You're here to bitch about Sargon. That's why you're here.
It is odd though how all the people that shield him whenever people go, oh, why don't you show your face, are all the people bitching at you now because you didn't show your face on the promo. Right.
I know, isn't it funny? The rules for thee but not for me shit. It's so funny.
What's funny about that?
I think there's a word for that.
Look at these people.
Isn't there a word for that?
Hypocrite.
Hypocrisy?
Bullshitter.
Yeah. Hypocrisy.
Bullshit artists. They all circle the wagons to protect their precious internet gods.
Geo in the stream chat has the best take. Sargon ain't that interesting.
Somebody's got to have to get that through Jimmy's head. Oh, Mr. Make-A-Wish don't know what else to do.
To be fair, I'm completely fine with Jim wanting to protect his anonymity and not doing a face reveal if that's what he chooses. But you should give the same right to other people, even people you don't like. You either have the principle or you don't. You can't have it.
Principle.
You can't have it both ways.
Principles.
Well, you can't have it both ways.
Do you really think that the pussy posse has principles?
It would seem that they don't.
Well, if rules for me but not for thee is a principle, then yeah, I'd say they've held to that pretty well.
I fucking clutched it. Just like they clutch their pearls whenever you say so. I can't believe they're trying to ruin Andy's life. You fucking bitches.
It's
you
someone has to
little whores.
Someone has to defend Andy against all the Sargonisms that people are throwing at him.
Just how much all of these people I feel have changed in just the past year. I mean, and I don't think it's just. I don't think it's that their real selves have come out. I feel that they legitimately have changed. I mean, like, I disagree. It's strange. I feel like, at the very least, I mean, like you mentioned that Jim is obsessed with Sargon. How he's obsessed with so many things now, and how he's not in it for the laughs. And it's like, I think at one point that wasn't the truth. He did seem to just be a guy who was making content on the internet and having fun.
And then he started doing live streams, and it revealed his actual self.
I don't know if that's the truth. I feel like he used to just be a guy who did laugh at stuff, and because I used to watch some of his old live streams.
Are you talking about the days of the internet insanity videos?
When you could make money from videos, and he was glad to do it.
I liked the internet insanity videos. He would find random spurgs on the internet, make fun of them.
And the thing is, he used to do old live streams too. You know, he'd like the election night ones and just the random shit where he'd get drunk and laugh about stuff. And I don't know. I feel like this whole thing, he got obsessed over certain people. I don't know. It's really weird. And I still ain't got anything against the guy. I still think he can be funny, but now he's just he's just obsessed. It's weird.
The stream is let me read chat 97 times.
Maybe it's just me, but you're cutting out. Maybe it's my.
No, you are cutting.
I probably am.
A little bit. Anyways, guys, I gotta head off. Thank you very much.
Let me read a few lines from chat, and now let me explain to everybody how I don't know things. The reality is just doing these live streams, fucking talking and doing all this shit.
You are robots.
Oh, probably.
Maybe you should
hold on.
Leave and come back.
Okay, better or worse?
Better so
now.
far.
For now.
Okay.
Yeah, I was trying not to talk over you, but you were roboting
That's
and
good. Just say when it starts to robot. The problem with the live stream format and having people like Jim and all those come through on them, you start to actually get a feel for them. They're not scripted anymore. They show what they're like. That's what changed. What changed about Jim? Well, now you actually get to see what he thinks in kind of real time. Now you get to hear him fuck up on a constant basis. Now you have to protect him. He made one really stupid video a few years ago. I even told him how stupid this video was when I talked to him. It was something about digital destruction. If they take away net neutrality, we all just need to pull the kill switch on the internet. Yes. If your toy is broken, then nobody gets a toy. That is their mentality.
Well, you have to do something to fight against the machines of oppression. I think net neutrality was an issue, an important issue. And sometimes
we didn't have it before Obama showed up. Why was it such a huge issue?
Because of changing laws and what they were planning on doing with it, it was going to be used for censorship.
That's what some people said, but was it?
Do you see people being censored? I do.
I see just as many people being censored now as before. It doesn't seem like a drastic change at all.
I see things only getting worse.
Well, they probably will get worse because as time goes on, more and more people will end up getting censored, but it's no more people than were being censored before. Before all this happened, you had plenty of people who were kicked off of YouTube. You have people getting kicked off YouTube now. You have plenty of people who were kicked off of Twitter. You have plenty of people getting kicked off of Twitter now. It's not really the same.
Actually, for one thing different, you got people being kicked off of payment processors and domain name servers.
I want to say that that's more a part of just the world as it is now, and it has less to do with the internet and more of just like that's just where we're headed in general. I don't think that I think that would have happened regardless of any kind of like net neutrality. I think that would have just been I think that's just a path we're headed down as a society as a whole.
Yeah, we were headed down that path, but it would have given them the ability to shadow ban certain sites. I mean, they've had to go after places like Gab and other ways. Whereas with the net neutrality thing, they could have made the access to that site so slow that it became unusable.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
Inferno Chill says net neutrality has nothing to do with people getting kicked off platforms. This is like throttling shit like that.
Yes, it's about internet speeds and things like that. So, like I said, it's more of a way of shadow banning. Like access to YouTube would be completely unrestricted, whereas access to Gab would be slowed or BitChute slowed.
I buy it. You would have websites paying the providers to get better service so that they would look better, show up in results better. All kinds of things that they could do. But the idea of let's try to break the toy. That's all. To me, that shows pretty much exactly how these people try to quote unquote fix things.
What would your solution have been?
Not break it.
Roll over and accept it?
Not roll over, but you also don't have to try to break the toy. Great. Best example, whenever all this shit came down on YouTube where Ralph gets banned off of YouTube. If he really believed the shit that he believed, why didn't Medica go to stream.me and start streaming off of there on a every other day or on his Sunday fun days or what the fuck ever? Try to boost it. Why didn't it happen?
He did.
All right. But why didn't
Worsky did for a time too, but then
for
came
about
back.
5 minutes and then they come back? Why?
Because the audience didn't follow them.
Funny that. I think it's just a delusion where you convince yourself that you're way more important than you fucking are. Because that's what you do when you get a big number by your name there, Mr. Make-A-Wish.
You think you got way more influence than you actually have. You start thinking that you're pulling in big numbers on your streams when there's a fucking 8-year-old Fortnite player up above you who has double and then some of your stream. Overestimation. Genuine overestimation. That's why this shit's gone the way that it's gone. That's why people have reeled back their live streams in certain ways. That's why people have done the things that they've done. They overestimated themselves, overinflated senses of self-importance, delusions of grandeur. That's what you saw. You're seeing it again now. Leading up into that fucking fight shit. More delusion of grandeur. Just how it is.
Small dog syndrome.
Let me look and see if there's anything else worth grabbing over in the chat. Let me somebody else has a nice bookend over here. It was more about killing corruption for internet providers. That's why Comcast and AT&T supported net neutrality. Okay, that's fair enough. Maybe we'll talk about net neutrality one day too. We can do that. I don't mind.
Well, actually, I do have something.
Then do it.
This
What do you
want to take a second?
Hurry up.
Remember you said that you didn't want Jared Holt to notice your fight with Wolski?
Yeah.
He noticed your fight with Wolski.
Yeah, damn it.
Well, I guess we'll talk about that tomorrow.
Hooray. Jared Holt's going to try to fuck up the fight. Good job. He keeps going. He's going to get a fight.
Yeah, we'll all be here without pom-poms on.
That's fine. Like, Jared Holt doesn't matter, but somehow he seems to matter more than Worski does. Isn't that weird?
Oh, yeah, he does.
Pain in the ass. Oh, well, yeah. What a shock. Somebody noticed what the notorious Race Worski was doing. Okay, can't wait for the fucking obnoxious shit to come out of this. It's going to be great. Is there any other miserable news? Do we have any more?
Not really, no. Destiny fans are forced to notice the fight, but that's a given, I would think.
Oh, yeah, his fans are very bitter about the fight. Yeah, they're going to handle the actual fight really well, I bet. Fuck you, The Witcher 3 is the best game to come out in the last decade. You're high. That is not true. That I can fight somebody on. I'll fight you all night on that.
That's a bit much.
No. And apparently the guy who made SpongeBob died, so rip that. Well, the guy who got the SpongeBob drawing and then blah, 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 you know the story. He died. So there's that. Damn shame.
Oh, yeah, I missed the video game discussion. I just want to put this in before it all ends. Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance is better than every other Metal Gear game, and Kojima had nothing to do with it. And you can fucking fight me if you have any
I'm
problem
sure
with
he
that.
wrote the story.
I believe that.
He didn't. He wrote the original, and then they threw it out because he didn't think he could write an action game story, and he let Platinum have full reign over it. And they did it in 9 months.
Huh.
That's why
Fair
it's
enough.
so wacky and ridiculous and not Kojima-like.
I don't like Kojima. I don't like the weird for weird's sake. But I explained that.
I'm not a big fan of him either. That's why I liked Metal Gear Rising instead.
Do you have a thing to play? Okay, then you can just play. We may end up doing like another stream sometime in the evening. Don't know for sure. It's possible. But if not, we'll be back around in the fucking afternoon tomorrow doing all this shit. It's going to be a good time. Well, the time in between will be a good time because my ass is actually getting closer and closer to being able to eat real food. So, see everybody either later tonight or in the tomorrow. Just wait and see.
Don't call it a comeback.